Black and Irish Awards. Unfortunately, we couldn't be there.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to give our speech now.
I said in my caption, Simsolo, you're my hero, because emotionally and mentally, those first 12 weeks must be draining.
So, my thing is, where were the straps?
They have to get...
When it was one man, when it was George, one man by himself, you guys had guns then.
Damn.
You guys had guns then. You guys had smoke then.
Damn.
What's called? When we were trying to have a party at Red Cow for New Year's, we had helicopters then.
But the only way I felt the way about it, I'm going to be honest, is because it sounded like it was being said to diminish what we did this year. Okay. It's been a minute since we've done this.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
We back, baby.
Come on. Charge us to the game.
We back, you know.
How you been, bro?
Award-winning podcast and that.
Award-winning podcast of the year.
What?
They said we couldn't do it. Doubt me now.
Doubt me now.
Look at me now.
Look at me now.
Look at me now. Doubt me.
It's been a minute since we recorded.
It's actually been a minute since we recorded.
But look, we got a lot of shit to talk about.
We've got a lot to get off our chest. As you can see, we're in a celebratory mood.
Wait. That's so great.
Come on.
Come on, you pop that. First of all, shout out to the big baby Mendoms.
Oh man, thank you. We here.
What's it called, you know? Had to do a little something for my boy.
Jeez.
I had to leave best dad for, you know, baby Mendoms when he grows up.
Oh, this is class.
You know it?
Daddy Mendoms.
Daddy Mendoms in the building.
Shout out. Goody just changed one letter in my name. everybody just said cousin. That's a nice comp.
You know?
Nah, shout out you. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
Let's go, man.
I appreciate this.
Fam.
Look, this last year has been Jordan's year. When they said, you know what they say 23 is Jordan's year?
Fam.
23 has been Jordan's year.
Christmas came early for Charlie, bro.
Jesus, look at all this.
Look
at this. You gotta celebrate. One thing I learned this year, Dage, is that you gotta celebrate the good moments. You gotta celebrate the W's.
We gonna celebrate them.
We
bitches.
gonna talk today. Come on, look at this. We have bottles and trophies and merch. Charge to the game 2023. Come on, Dage. How are you doing, brother?
Bro, I'm good, bro, man. Like, honestly, we haven't potted for like a month.
Yeah, solid month.
Genuinely, we got a lot of shit to talk about.
So much has. I don't even know where to start this episode.
There's only one place we can start. We got to start with the
Actually,
podcast of the year.
I will start with a small game for you, because 2023 was our year. I have a tiny game. It's a little icebreaker.
We're supposed to do the quiz today.
We forgot, but it is what it is.
Yeah, we'll leave that then.
Yeah. It is what it is. But this is 2023 has been like, as you see, we are podcast of the year. Mm-hmm. So I have a game for you, Dage.
Powered by RT.
Don't forget that part. Powered by RT, the big awards. Shame we couldn't be there, but we'll get into that. Let me just do this game. So this is based on the podcast. Mm-hmm. It's called Who Said This?
Okay, you know what? Before, obviously, new intro. Let's drop the intro. Let's introduce the podcast.
Let's introduce the podcast and then we go. Anyways, we are here. We are charging.
Bang.
This is the podcast with the highest level. Wait. Anyways, we are charging.
Bang.
This is podcast of the year 2023. I'm Daddy J, but you ones can call me Jordan, and I'm here with.
It's your girl's favorite voice, Big Dage, nigga with the Midas touch.
Come on, that hit different.
Look, man.
Daddy J.
It's different.
We're leveling up.
We've unlocked new
levels. Success. Consistency was the key. Let's go.
You know.
But Dave, who said this?
All right, let's
quick charger game, and then we can get into a lot of things we had to talk about today. So basically, the game is I went through some of our clips, our moments, and you have to tell me who said this on the pod this year, 2023, as we are the podcast of the year, 2023.
Yeah.
Most of Irish artists don't know how to perform. Who said that?
Most of Irish artists don't know how to perform. I feel like that's a Simba.
Close. Sambo.
Oh,
Sambo Simba. Yeah. There's 13 quotes I have here.
All right, cool. We'll go.
I got jollof thrown at my face.
You got. Oh, that's gross, man. Shout out GTG.
That's why you niggas are soft.
Beckley.
I love music, but my passion is people.
Oh, that's the Uncle Jaffa episode.
Faris, come on.
Fam, you need to stream back. That was a 30-minute episode.
Do you know that one? Because, that was what I think Dave's last episode was recording as well.
Yeah.
I got fired because I looked gay.
Wait, what? I got fired because I looked gay?
Yeah.
I have no idea, bro.
Sean the comedian. He's McDonald's.
Oh.
Yeah, from McDonald's. I wish if we... if we could do like a compilation videos at the end of the year, that'd be
what it
cold.
is, yeah? It's just because we stopped doing notes.
Yeah.
So I don't have notes for all the episodes.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying
if we had
true
notes for all
52
the
episodes.
yeah, that's a good
Oh
point.
yeah, that's why I said 52 episodes. Just so you know.
I'm such a multifaceted person. I'm a multiplicity of cells.
What? I'm such a multifaceted person. I'm a multiplicity of self. That feels like someone with mad confidence. Boy or girl?
Boy,
I want to say Big Joe.
close. It is an artist. It's JLOL because shades are yellow. Why
Yeah.
he's giving it his right time what it's called shades are
You know
yellow.
what? I can't remember everyone we had on the podcast.
Yeah, I just went through our clips and I was like, okay, why don't you just try not failing?
Oh, that was me.
The joy my dad would have just looking at my grades.
Yeah, that can't be me.
That's why I picked that clip.
I know.
Because that's a clip that well, who said
No,
it?
that was you. That was you. That was you.
No, Shikemi.
That was Shikemi.
Shikemi
Yes,
said
I
that.
remember that, yeah.
Shikemi said that. Praying for marriage is beggy.
Fiona.
You can't keep breaking promises to yourself.
Simba.
Dongo.
Yes.
Dongo said Simba did say something similar, but Dongo actually said it on the pod. Yeah. That's defamation of character.
That's defamation of character. Who the fuck is deforming character? I have no idea.
This was Snow when they said, "Do you want your girl to be mean? You have to be mean to everybody?" And Snow said, "That'd be defamation of my character." I'll never say that guy's name. Fuck that guy.
Oh, that's Simba.
Simba. And for the final one is, why don't we just try lingalifying it?
Oh, that's you.
You actually did well. You actually did well. Who said that?
Yeah, for the most part, like
For the most part.
bro, 52 episodes.
52
Crazy.
episode, bare guests, and like, yeah, the guest requests were coming in. Even now.
Even
This-
now.
we had to tell
Bro.
people like, yo, we're done for the year, man. We'll be back
The
in
amount of-
2023.
Yeah. What's called except this year? I'm gonna start. What's called airing niggas, bro.
Oh, yeah.
No, yeah.
I saw one. I saw one. Deja was like, loudest. What do you have to say?
You know me identity. I just don't give a fuck.
Well, let's start.
What's called Black and Irish Awards. Unfortunately, we couldn't be there.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna give our speech now.
We gotta give our speech now. Well, yeah, go on.
I feel great. I feel fun. All jokes aside, like, honestly, it's an honor. I am fucking proud. Thank you guys for voting us, getting us there. We had 2 things we wanted to do this year: consistency and just
Adding more to it.
adding more,
Yeah.
and like just making ourselves better. I feel like we did that and then some. Like we've always said like the award in itself doesn't really mean like
It doesn't define who the podcast
it doesn't
award is.
define the podcast. However,
It's a
it is-
recognition.
It's great to be recognized. You get what I'm saying? So shout out to Black and Irish. We really appreciate. Like I actually want to say this, especially on the final recording of the year. We appreciate everybody that has ridden out for us, bro. Like the numbers that we get compared to the love that we get is different. Like what's called? We have episodes that in a week struggle to get 50 listens, but we've had sold out shows, we've done karaoke, we've sold merch, and people have shown up for us every single time. Do you get what I'm saying? Even for like, I know Fiona said there's only had to be 15 people to vote for you, kind of a situation. We didn't even put it out there to tell people to vote for us, and we're still there. Do you get what I'm saying? People come in telling us that, oh, they think we should win podcast of the year. Man, it's humbling. And like me and Jordan, we don't take ourselves too seriously. Like, obviously, we don't do this shit for clout. It's the wrong thing to do for clout. We don't do this shit for clout, but genuinely, like, it actually, everybody that's listened, liked, bought a ticket, subscribed to our YouTube, everyone that's done all those things for us, man, we really fucking appreciate it. Like, honestly, me and Jordan have thought about ending this pod multiple times. The only thing that's stopping us is the support that we get from the people that love us, and we love you guys too. And yeah, man, to any of the contestants that don't like what I just said, charge it.
No, just to even piggyback off what Dij says, like, I wish I could have been there. I was even in the doghouse because I was pushing to be there. That's how much I wanted to be there. Because I think Simi was supposed to give birth on the Tuesday and the awards was a Saturday. And I was like, look, that gives me enough leeway to kind of go. That's how much like I believed that it was our year and we were gonna win it. But obviously, the birding was delayed and I couldn't be there. But I know this is like, it's easy for me to say now because I say this every year. Awards do not define what I do or the low for the podcast. Winning or not winning would not have made a difference on the work I've put in. But to be recognized for something that you show up and you do every single week, and we're only the second podcast to win this. So we've come from not being nominated to being nominated and losing to finally being winners, and it just shows that we are continuously working hard and progressing, and we're not deterred by the lack of numbers by the lack of visual support on socials. So we just show up every week and do our things and let the chips fall where they may. And I know there's people that genuinely fuck with the podcast and always encourage us. Like I know people like Shakemi always encouraging and telling us, yeah, you guys might be a slow burner, but what you guys do on the podcast, the conversation you have, and that's what's encouraging to me. And that's another point that we'll get on in terms of like being personalities. We just come here and this is our personalities. This is who we are.
Yeah,
and
for the most part.
for the most part, yeah. And for people to recognize that and recognize the hard work, and in an era where they say to celebrate where overhyped mediocrity, we try to always put our best foot forward. So there's definitely, it's easy now for me to say. It's hard to say, oh yeah, awards don't really mean anything when you haven't won it. So people are like, your boys will tell you, well, I know Agenda always tells me you're just going there to congratulate King David anyways.
Don't kill me. That group chat is so toxic, man.
So to finally have one, I obviously got to conquer home. To finally have one and to say, okay, that's something I can tick off, and it's cool to win a podcast award. So thank you guys.
And it's even better that it came from our people as well.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to like another thing we don't really speak about all the time is like our little Charger family, bruv. Shout out to Harry on the clips, Lenny on the merch,
even Ron putting up the episodes on Culture Shop, all the Bexley,
Yusuf,
man,
shout out to all you, man. This shit wouldn't be possible.
Even Simi that gives me suggestions on like this will be done. Ideas come from Simi. So again, we have such a good support system. To once a week, I pull up here. It takes 40-50 minutes drive every time. Double recording sometimes, triple recording sometimes. Go and do guest appearances and
having nothing to talk about, but having to,
bro.
Fam, those bad episodes. It was off the cuff.
Yeah, having to pull up on days you don't want to be here, but you've made commitment to each other. And yeah, shout out even to Dage. Dage is on the technical, whatever the things that need to be done, he will get it done. The setting up the recording, the post production, and getting everything sorted. So yeah, no, very grateful. And on that, Dage, I wanted to ask you on the podcast, what did you think of the year we had?
If we're talking about for the podcast,
yeah.
For the podcast, I think we had a fantastic year, bro. Yeah. Like it's more than what I even thought we were going to do. Do you get what I'm saying? Like the last minuteness of the live show. Dave's leaving. We have a month. Fuck it, let's just do it. Putting all that shit together. My brother smashing it on the night. Make sure everything was running right. The girls helping us, opening up for us, all that kind of shit. Dave leaving, obviously that was sad and that. And then just kind of like taking it from there, running with it, coming up with the idea to have different kind of events. Obviously, we only got to do the karaoke, but next year we pull up with more events. And bro, I started podcasting in 2017. This is the first year that I've podcasted the whole year.
The whole year, yeah.
Fam, it's crazy. It's insane, man. But look, man, I think we'd have a great year. We smashed it out of the park.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with that. I was like, especially I always say for a small scale podcast, we did to do an event, a live show, another event, and to show up every week. For some reason, sometimes I feel like we're being hard on ourselves because that should be more than enough. Like to do two events, and then to have episodes, weekly recording episodes. It's actually a fantastic going for ourselves. Sometimes like, let's big up ourselves and say like, you know what, we did do a fantastic job. We did come up and be consistent. We had people show up for us. You hosted 4 gigs. Like we had merch selling now. Even though we kind of bombed that 90s Babies opener at the start because we just couldn't get the crowd to engage, it's still something we did. Like
I forgot that happened.
Because the experience was like, it's so frustrating that it's easy to forget that it happened. Like we got them in the end, but it was a learning curve that, okay, it's podcast, maybe opening a podcast, it's like podcasts are for a particular crowd. They listen to that podcast monthly, so maybe being an opener isn't always an ideal place to be for a podcast, but we needed to learn that. But it's still something that we did do, just to be in the back stage with like Temi, VP, and Fred.
Podcasts I've been listening to on and off since like 2017.
Yeah.
Not even, maybe 2016.
Yeah, looking at Temi and telling him like, it's funny because I know you, but I don't know you.
You're a stranger.
Yeah, like I know your wife's name. I know you have 2 kids. Like I know everything about you, but like we're strangers. I still got to introduce myself. So that was another cool moment. And yeah, getting GTD to open for us, and then the run they went on afterwards as well. So seeing that was kind of cool. But yeah, no. And in the least, not even being cocky, winning this doesn't surprise me.
Oh yeah, bro. before, like a month before, we convinced ourselves that we won already.
But it's just because I've also seen what consistency and persistence does just in my personal life. In terms of, like, I know you said, like, why don't you just try not failing? I was persistent in school. I saw the awards. I was persistent in my relationship. I saw the recognition. I was persistent in the gym. I see results every time in my life. I'm persistent and I stay on course. It always breeds result.
Yeah.
So this is no different to what I've seen throughout my life. So to go from not being nominated and being nominated and obviously like losing fairly and then finally getting over, it doesn't really surprise me because I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I did in school. That's what I did with my driving test when I didn't pass. That's what I did. My relationship was failing with Simi. That's what I did. Like it's the story of my life essentially.
What you've been doing, innit?
Yeah, it's always what I've been doing, and I'm not the person that gets it first time, but eventually I do. Eventually I do get it. So that's just how my life works for me.
Like a lot of things that I've wanted across my life. I might not get it in the moment, but I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So no, like, yeah, to dismiss it, like people dismiss the big awards, and I do understand the criticism that come with it as well. Don't get me wrong. I do understand the criticism. Like some people say, you don't ask Beyonce to tell you what she deserves to win a Grammy. You just have to say why you think Beyonce. Like I do understand it, but to also be like, you know what? When I wrote the information, the summary of what we did this year, just writing it on paper was like, wow, rah. It was also cool to just see, yo, we did this. We had Deji hosted 2 shows at the Button Factory. Yeah, we opened up for 90s Babies. Yeah, we went on, like, we were on Where's Your Head Out. We were on GTG. We were on Dongle's podcast. And they were on these podcasts as well. So, no, it was
Bro, yeah, man.
It's a cool moment to have, yeah.
Pop the shit, man. Let's celebrate.
Come on.
But yeah, man. It's crazy. It's... Charge it.
Yeah.
Fam.
Next year we go again. That's the thing now. This is just, again, this is a recognition of the hard work, not the definition of what we've done or what we want to be. So
Bars.
let's just say that.
We go again next year. While we're here, guys, we got merch. Merch for... Do we even still have merch for sale?
Yeah. It's in my,
We got merch for sale. What's called t-shirts €25, hoodies €40, tote bags €10, €7 for the whole sweep. We got a new line coming next year, hopefully. What's it called? Low-key, I like the way this mug looks.
Hey, let's go. I couldn't find any cups, so I got the baby shower ones.
Look, it's fitting.
You know that one.
It's fitting.
Let's go.
But yeah, what's it called? Make sure you like, share, subscribe everywhere. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And yeah, man, just big up yourselves for listening and shit.
Yeah. And well, yeah, so that's on the podcast side. This is our podcast episode where we do the yearly
Here in the
wrap up. So we're gonna start with how did the year go for you on a personal level, Dij?
Honestly, the year for me on a personal level was shit. The only thing that was good, not the only thing that was good this year. This year, the thing that made this year really pop was the podcast, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, obviously, what's called this year, got a nice little increase in at work, lost my job. Bruv.
Oh, we can finally talk about that now. You started it.
Started a new job, so I don't give a fuck anymore. What's called? Lost my job on a week's notice, bruv.
Yeah, I was panicking for you. I texted you 3 times like, "Yo, bro, you okay?" But then I realized it's just me projecting how I would feel in the moment.
The thing is, it wasn't only you, bro. Like my brother was calling me like, "Yo, Dij, like, is everything calm?" And I'm like, "Yeah, don't worry, it's calm." But yeah, bruv, fam, hitting certain lows during the year. Like, I feel like on paper, everything that I wanted to do this year, the only thing that I did was the podcast.
Yeah. And even you saying that, there's something like you said it always resonated because you were like, there's a certain level of jobs that you wouldn't even move abroad for. And it was like, you could be like high salary because here you have a podcast or an outlet or an avenue to do other things. Whereas you could move to Dubai on good money, but then you're just going work and you're going home and you don't have maybe abilities to host gigs or to even see new Bria, be in these kind of rooms with these creatives. It's cool. Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like being slightly depressed at certain points of the year, and yeah, but like at the end of the day, it just is what it just.
How do you pull yourself out of those moments? The podcast, yeah. You come and talk to me and you feel better. I hear it. I hear it.
I go and do dick talk on the mic, bro.
I love that. We're not activists. We just talk about dicks on the mic. Facts. Nobody asked me to do anything.
Facts. Honestly, just like I feel like at certain points I was pulled out and then thrown back in. So it's just been the different points of the year. Do you get what I'm saying? But oh shit. For your man that aren't watching, that you're listening, yeah, we're in suits today because we're celebrating.
Check the thumbnail out on the Instagram. Charges the game pod. Instagram. Check the thumbnail out.
For the what's it called? For the we're going to use the thumbnail for the
on the.
Actually, let's talk about you now.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm proud of you, man. This year you really did your thing, man. Like,
yeah, I'm no longer a boy.
Oh yeah, you can't say that
Like
anymore.
I was no longer a boy because I was deep in it. I was like, as a boy, yeah, I could just play FIFA for hours, go downstairs, get food, go back and play FIFA. Get annoyed that the girl I'm texting gets annoyed that I didn't text her back for 3 hours. That's the most of my worries as a boy. Now I have car payments, a kids to look after, mortgage, and then I gotta work every day.
And you go to work as well.
No, but yeah, for me on a personal level, it might be a bit long-winded because it's like, yeah, it's been we're here to pod.
Bro, we have a month worth of shit that we haven't spoken about.
Yeah, so basically last year I moved into my gaff in like April, and by July, let me even go back. And by July, Simi got pregnant initially. So now I've been a person that's been having sex since I was 16 years old.
Yes.
So, but back then and like all throughout my life, there's never really been a scare. And I could even with Simi, I've been having sex with Simi since I was maybe 22, 23. Like even there's probably like a handful of time I use like rubber. If I'm being completely transparent, probably a handful of time. Exactly. So I'll be just trusting Paul like in. But when you're younger, you're like, yeah, it's calm. Then you get older, then you start to get worried. You're like, what if
my things don't bank?
Yeah, what if nothing is working? Then I go like, man, them don't have shame. I went and got tested. I went to like there's actually a spot in Drogheda. You know, in a cup. I did the whole thing. You pull the cup and they test it. Even before that, we went to a specialist in fucking Sandyford. And they told us humans are young. Because both sides had to get tested, just so we know. Mm-hmm. Like, is this even possible? The humans are young, it will happen for you. I went to get tested personally in Drogheda anyways. They said, yeah, everything looks good. That's why I learned it's like building it up makes actually worse sperm. Mm-hmm. It's the ones that if you do it consistently, it's the second or third one. Yeah, it's the second or third one that actually works better. So then, obviously, I go find out. In April, we move into our new gaff. By July, we find out that she's pregnant, but you can't do a scan till 12 weeks. 12 weeks falls in October. Remember who's the main character? Mm-hmm. That was on a Saturday. The scan was supposed to be on Monday. So then the Monday comes, we're even beefing in the car. I can't remember why. You know that was.
No one can ever remember why.
We're even beefing, but this is 9 a.m. Like, I still have responsibilities. We get up and we go. They do the scan. They can't find the baby. Then they do it vaginally. Nothing. Immediately, my heart shatters. And it just goes back to what I was saying on the award. I was like, you start, like, feeling bad for yourself. Because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, why don't things just happen to me first time? Mm-hmm. Why did I have to do the leaving cert twice? Why am I repeating uni? Why did I do my driving test again? Like, why is it with me that I just can't grab something easy? Why does it not come from me easy? I cried a bit in the hospital, but not really, just a few tears. I was heartbroken. I'm like, okay, if I'm feeling this way, Simi must be feeling worse. Mm-hmm. Let me just try to remain a bit strong. We get to the gaff, like all the moms knew, they come over to console us. My dad was working. Oh, bro, I called my dad and I'm talking to my dad and I start weeping. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, I felt like a kid again. I felt like I'm in front of my dad, so I can just cry. I start weeping. And then, funny enough, I watched Leon Edwards win the title and he was emotional. And he called his mom and he starts crying. And he's doing an interview with DC. DC's like saying, yeah, when he won the title, same thing happened. He got in front of his parents and the emotions could go. Yeah, he just broke down. So I started weeping. I feel better than after I cry, black African man thinking, I'm like, you know what, I've let it out. Let me just get on with my life. You know what, get to work, recording. I think that was the episode with Ron that I missed. That he said David's intimidating. Yeah. So I missed that, but I get on with life. My fault here is I should have acknowledged just because I'm over it or I'm processing it, being through it. I should have acknowledged maybe my wife isn't where I am and I should have taken more time to spend with her. But I just thought as a man, I can't be try to move on. It's a learning curve for myself.
Pushing, innit?
Yeah, you have to keep pushing. But even if I was okay, I should have acknowledged maybe my wife isn't, and this is my moment to be there for her. And I've had this conversation. I've apologized to her. We go on to that same month. 2 weeks later was our first year anniversary. We're in Portugal. We just said let's enjoy. I'm not even really feel like beating like that anymore. Like your sex drive is just sucked out of you. Like I was like, I don't even want to do this. Yeah, you're.
I always say people don't know how hard it is to actually get pregnant.
Fam,
it's not easy. It's not an easy thing, bro.
Then it comes into the new year. January, one of my prayer points is like, okay, this year is the year. But I want Simi's born in February. I'm like, yeah, I want her to enjoy her 30th. Her 30th happens. She's kind of like, oh, we should. But I'm like, telling her, no, don't put pressure on yourself. Let's just have the year we're going to have. Plan a trip to Dubai. Plan everything. Just have the year you're going to have. Because if it doesn't happen and you put everything on the back burner, it's a double L.
Yeah, I should have done this. I wanted to do this.
Yeah, I just waited and it didn't happen. I said, if we have to take an L on money, I'd rather take the L. But if we don't, let's just persist with the year we're going to have. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm going to get busy. But I didn't want to put that pressure on her. So, I got busy. But after her 30th, like mid-February to like start of, I got busy. She had no idea what was happening.
Bro, I was not.
I remember off mic, Finn was like, do you remember the session? I don't remember the specific session, but I remember the week. That week she just thought I was on it. So then eventually, like, I was on there. I was like, okay, my mom comes over and prays, whatever. I'm getting busy. I'm driving to work one day. Do you ever have a good feeling about things? And you're like, I have a thing. I go home, we're watching YouTube. I'm like, we're going to get good news this week. And on that Friday, she's supposed to go with her friends for drinks and cocktail, beef and lobster or something. I was like, Simi, don't drink because I feel like you're pregnant. This was before I did the test. But I said, let's just wait till Monday. Enjoy your weekend, but let's wait till Monday. Because I don't want you to do the test now, have a bummer, because it's mentally draining doing that test every time and seeing the result you don't want to see. It's emotionally and mentally draining. So just go enjoy your weekend, and on Monday we'll do the test. Simi Salah goes and does the test anyways.
That's so annoying.
She does the test. She calls me up, and I see it, and it's positive. And not one bit of me is surprised because I just...
Yeah, you just knew.
Like I knew.
Yeah,
I was
that's
like,
that thing.
Like, yeah, I was
Sometimes
like,
when the stars align, you could feel it.
exactly. I was like, I knew, but also I'm worried because of what you've already been burnt. This time we even do an early scan. We booked the early scan in Uri. Like I said in my caption, Sim Salah, you're my hero, because emotionally and mentally those first 12 weeks must be draining if you've already gone through the miscarriage initially. And then so we do it, find out she's pregnant, calm, you're happy, you're delighted. Then obviously I'm going to Dubai, the year is progressing. That's kind of like on a personal life, yeah, that happens. And for her anyways, emotionally I could see the first 12 weeks, your emotion and your anxiety, it's both sides. Everything you're checking. One day we woke up like in the middle of the night because there was blood. And we had to go to the hospital and get it checked. But they tell us, yeah, that could be the residue from your previous period that never came. So you're only seeing it. Bro, I learned so much scientifically. Like, so much. And then you get to week 20, you hear the heartbeat, your kid's heartbeat. There's something about it that's just like,
Yeah,
you're like,
bro, there's like a you in
this
there.
is,
There's life.
this is, like, I think that's immediately as I heard that, your natural instinct kicks in. Like, she was like, how am I going to... Like, her natural instinct was like, how am I going to raise a black man in this world to teach him to be sensitive or respectful? My natural instinct was like, it's on me to provide and protect for this boy for this foreseeable future. So those are like what's naturally coming to us. Hence why from like July, we're talking to Bex. I'm already applying for jobs because I was in a contractual situation. MSD had renewed my contract, but the next one was over the following March. They're telling my kid is due in December. So I'm like, there's a 3-month window. And you're talking to yourself. Sometimes with recruiters, it can be long.
Peak, bro.
It can be long.
Did an interview. I'm still waiting for them niggas to get back to me.
See what I mean? So yeah, like then I'm applying for jobs. So eventually, obviously the kid is here and everybody saw Baby Being Dumb. Shout out to GB for the speech. I appreciated that. So he's here. That was on a personal level, but even on that, it was just been such a positive year. Still got to go to Dubai. Still got to go to Greece. Went to my grandmother's 80th. Went to see Andrew Schultz. And because of the initial, when I was like not there enough, when the miscarriage happened, now I did the reverse. From like October on, I just stopped all activities. I said, I'm not like, it's my time to kind of like learn from that before. I just can't be out here with a month to go, still being. There's so many events, like, well, not so many. There's 2 events I should have been at. Officers listening party, they took my blood that day. I passed out on the couch. Should have been there. And Godis, I'm so proud of that brother. Just insert that because I'm always say I root Congolese, but he actually put it at the forefront of his life, so he gave them a platform. So yeah, no,
shout out to him, man. I couldn't make it either, but bro, man, proud of the bro.
Yeah, so I think that's kind of where my journey was, and it was for me. It's like I can imagine for me it was emotionally up until the end. I wasn't as emotional anymore. I was kind of safe. I was kind of like felt better. But I can imagine for Simi herself, like the whole 9 months, first it goes from the emotional and the anxiety of the mental. Then you're physically, you don't feel like yourself. And then you have to go and give birth. And that's probably scary in itself. and it's something that we'll just never understand. And just glory be to God that now I'm here. I'm a dad, Daddy J. So on a personal level, yeah, it really was Jordan's year. And I win the award. And Lydia, shout out Lydia. She bought the hoodie one time here, and she was doing a raffle. I said, "Oh, she's I root Congolese, isn't it? Let me buy the raffle." I win that raffle. Wow. The only people who let me down is Chelsea Football Club. Fucking dumbasses.
Look, like I said, Christmas came early for the McDonald's household, man.
But that's kind of on a personal level. We talked about the podcast. We talked about the personal level. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Slow down. Put a break on it, brother. The day that it happens now, yeah.
Okay.
You finally have your youth in your arms. Chat to me through that, because I can't imagine it, bro.
Yeah, so it was. I don't know.
Actually, you knew the day was coming in.
I knew the day was coming now.
You wake up that day, how do you feel?
I wake up, oh God, excited, nervous, anxious. Everybody tells you your life's about to change, so you're anticipating that, like a whole lot of feelings just going through you, and then you're like, okay, because initially it was supposed to be the before date. Baby turned whatever, then they had to change the date. So I woke up on that day, like I was watching everybody's story on the Wednesday of Dungo's show. I'm like, oh man, I wish I was there. It was literally that Thursday. Simi was in the hospital for like the week until the following Wednesday. My kid was born on the Wednesday of the following Wednesday. So that day you're feeling every emotion you can feel: panic, excitement, anxiety. You finally get to meet the youth, if like blah blah blah. Kind of looks like his ma.
Bro, you have one joke.
Yeah, it gives me the ick, man. I look like a girl. That's a man.
You know that's childish, bro.
You know that was. No, shout out to Baby. I don't know if I can say his name. I don't mind saying his name, but his man might be like, "Why you saying his name on the pod?"
Yeah, bro, look, it's Baby Nubs.
Yeah. So that day is like, yeah, you feel all the emotions. You go in, you're waiting because they give you a time. You say, okay, it's gonna be at this time, so you go in early, but you're waiting for like 2 hours, and then they take you to the room. Like they bring Simi in first, and then they're doing whatever, and then they take you in the room. And you don't really see anything. They're doing their procedure or whatever. The baby comes out. The first thing you hear is a cry, and yeah, literally. And then it's like, whoa, it becomes real. Mm-hmm. Simi like sheds a tear. Then I'm like, wow, that's like I'm still processing. My brain is like all over the place. Then they take the baby to the table on the side. They're cleaning them, and I can see my youth for the first time ever. That's when it hit me, and I got emotional. I was like, fucking hell. And I'm the first parent to hold him, because Simi's obviously they're still like stitching up, doing whatever. So for like 20 minutes, it's just
you and him.
Me holding the baby for like, and then I get to leave the room and I'm calling everybody, FaceTime everybody, and I'm like, it's just surreal. I think there's definitely something paternal or innate with us when you hold your youth. That feeling you get initially, I don't think it can be replicated. You just feel the happiness. You want to protect him. You want to love. You want to guide him. And I always think like. I always say I want to be the cool parent or whatever, but I don't think so anymore.
Yeah, fuck that shit, bro.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Especially because he's a boy. Mm-hmm. Let me land. Because I saw someone that says you're actually raising a man, not a child. We say we're raising children, but you're raising a man. Mm-hmm. What's your first memory? Like 3-4 years old? That's like a first.
I don't know, bro.
Do you know what I mean? And by 18, you're considered an adult by society standards. So you spend more of your life being a full-grown man than you do being a kid. Yeah. So then I look at that and I was like, yeah, obviously he's going to have his childhood. He's going to have Disneyland, Halloween. We'll still play that. But for the most part, I'm like, yeah, it's really, you're raising a person that's going to be a man in this world. And we spend most of our life being fucking adults, navigating this world through as adults. And so that also hit me. I was driving, like leaving the hospital one day. I was like, I have a child, but I have to take it to accountability that I'm raising a man. And I've talked about it in the episode with Newbury. My mom always gave us like responsibilities. Mm-hmm. She didn't like force us to go through quick, but she showed us like you need to be independent. Yeah. You need to do this. You need to look out for yourself. And I can already see his mom's being like soft on him because I'm like, oh, you have to like let him sleep through the night. You always can. You can't be like, you can't be latching on the boob, whatever. But it's like, oh, but he's only 2 weeks. You have to give him time. I'm not saying right now, but I'm saying like eventually, like this is unsustainable for him to be this way. Yeah. And she's already defending him. So I'm like, damn. But in my brain, I'm like, nah, it was a crazy, crazy day. And the one thing you can prepare for, everything else is actually grand. Being in the house, having a baby, looking after her, feeding, all that's grand. The nights, bro.
Everyone that has you, the first thing they say is you just don't sleep anymore.
And there's nothing you can do to. It's like, remember you work 9 to 5. Mm-hmm. I would assume going into a job that has night shift for the first week would be mad. Like it would be like all of a sudden you're staying up from 7 to 7. That'd be mad. It'll probably take time to adapt to.
Even when you first go into a 9 to 5 and you're going to the office 5 days a week, bro, that first week you're shattered.
Exactly.
Let alone having a you.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, bro, if you haven't shattered, are you still alive? Are you okay up there?
That's kind of been the year for me. That was the main event of my year, and then like I'm glad Timmy and I this year we both turned 30. We celebrated that. We celebrated the baby shower. We had a naming ceremony. We've taken time to actually take these moments in and actually celebrate them, because sometimes they just bypass. Like, to have the fact that we had 2 30ths in the house and we had a baby shower, we had a and people constantly showed up for us, and like, I don't take it for granted. I really don't take, like, for a naming it's on a random Wednesday. Like, it could be any day of the week, and people are still pulling up for you. So yeah, no, it's been an emotional year, and over the last 3 weeks, it's probably been more tiring than fucking the previous 6 months, just constantly being alert in the gaff. So yeah, that's the story, and I wanted to talk about it. I want to talk about it openly, because I feel like sometimes when it comes to stuff like miscarriages or whatever, it's so taboo that people think it's like it's nobody's fault. Do you know that kind of way? There's nobody to blame. It just happens, and you learn it happens like 1 in 4 pregnancies and 1 in 8 women, and you find out these stats, and people don't. That's why they tell you don't tell anybody until 12 weeks, which I get, but a girl at work said to me, it's like telling somebody not wanting to burden people with your problems, which I fully understand. But at the same time, it's like, it's nobody's fault. Nobody could have done anything. This thing could have just happened, and they happen more regularly than we are led to know, we're led to believe. Because when it did happen, multiple people told me it happened to them. Like, so many people said, "Oh, I've gone through this. Oh, I've gone through this. My mom's gone through this. My sister's gone through this." So I'm like, why are we waiting for it to happen to even have this conversation? And we're blaming ourselves. And my poor wife, she's like even blaming herself more because it happens to her. And when I went to watch Schultz's show, his whole show is based on the concept of going through the struggle of conceiving. Like, now his wife is finally having a baby girl. That was like the end of the show. He's like, if not, I'm having a girl. But the whole premise is like, we were struggling to get pregnant. And getting pregnant is tough. But shout out Bex. Bex goes to me, says, "Isn't it good to know your shit works?"
Fab? Sometimes I've been touching this for a while, bro.
Yeah, man.
Does this thing work?
Yeah, bro.
Does my things bank off?
You know? Now there's physical proof.
Now, yeah. When you know how hard it is to get pregnant, the people that their first experience is pregnancy.
Yeah. No, tell me, Alchemy said his first experience was pregnancy and STD. Pregnancy and STD.
Do you know how peak that is? What's it called? Are we gonna talk about the awards?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
What's it called? The awards, I'm not gonna lie, they actually it looked cold. Yeah. Like, production wise, look cold.
Yeah.
Obviously Nessa and
Katya hosting,
like, Newbury.
Is that how you pronounce her name? Katya?
I assume so.
Okay.
Shout out to her though.
Yeah. Newbury. Shout out Newbury, man. When I saw them on stage, I was like, I don't know. I'm biased towards them because they're cool people.
Bro,
but shout out them boys, man.
Bro, the boys
shout out them
cool.
boys.
Even when I hosted their live show, bro, man, they was like, I always say the boys are so cool.
That's another thing. 2024, I must see Newbury. Most 2024, I have to go support the boys next year.
When we do a live show, they might even do a little.
They might even do some there. So I can just see it there.
What's called? But yeah, what's called? Apart from us, which other category do you care about? Artist of the year.
Artist of the year. I was pleasantly surprised to see Fortune win.
Yeah.
Because I always think once you see Officer and Cello, you always think it's their award. Like, automatically, it's hard to see past them.
Cello Tape comes in the scope of this awards.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, what's called? Cello CD is in my car.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So every once in a while, it just
plays.
Isn't it? So, and sometimes I just play and I'm like, yo, this is cool.
Banger.
Bro.
And I'm talking about Yo B is like the second song. It's like, Yo B, what's your name? Hey, where you from?
Yeah, like, but because at first, I'm not going to lie, yeah. We've had Fortune on the pod. Cold, like, and look, genuinely.
Probably the episode of last year, of the year.
Yeah.
Maybe, like, top 3 definitely of our scene.
Off the top of my head, I can't think of another one.
Yeah.
From us, anyways.
Yeah, from us, definitely.
I can't think of another one. But then I think back to when you were sat here and you're saying, we almost sold our Button Factory twice.
Yeah.
What's it called? We've gone number 1. Obviously, the number 1 doesn't count to this, but yeah. We've gone number 1. You're like, you know them man there, those are the guys that build the cult followings.
You can see it.
You did the creator followings.
It's so smart because he gave them a label, Ragers. So now they feel like they're part of a community and people just want to belong. And they want to feel like they have places to be. So he gives Ragers, come out and support me. So that they feel like, when you said it to him, it's like his whole being. I see it now. I cannot unsee it. Like, I
open my phone. Okay, open it for Mist. Okay.
Yeah.
Opening my phone. He's there
every time. And I think I tweeted like, I think like Officer and Cello are probably better. Like, I don't know if Fortune's a rapper. I don't know his music's a rapper. I think like they're better rappers, but I think the will and the drive that Fortune has can make up that gap.
'Cause-
I think that's what they make the gap is made up.
After he came on here and it was like, oh yeah, didn't invite me, blah 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 blah.
I'm just gonna kick
It feels
doors open.
Each one.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like, oh y'all niggas didn't know.
He says, I'm not gonna wait for niggas to invite me. I'm just gonna kick these doors
you're being
open.
serious,
And that was the one category that I was pleasantly surprised to be like, oh, in that category with Offset and Cello to see Fortune win. I know he had the number one song in the country with Jafares, and he's sold out. She's getting panties thrown on him. He has his cult life following. Like, shout out Fortune in that episode. Again, I'm biased because that episode was very powerful for us. So there is a bit of element of bias there. But I was surprised. I was like,
Shout
yeah,
out to him,
it was him.
like, and also, you know what it is as well. I feel like, remember we always say like there's certain people that get more love in the scene than others, kind of a situation. So
Yeah.
you see a Cello, you're like, oh, Cello should win. And I'm not saying that anybody should win. Like, bro,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm not the music guy.
Yeah, no. That's the thing. If Cello Officer won, I wouldn't have been surprised either. That's why it's like they deserve to win, and they could have won. And I'm not surprised if they did win. It goes Hokage and Cello Tape and the tours are doing that also deserves merit. But in the same breath, Fortune winning when you look at it objectively and everything that he's done this year, you're like,
It just makes
oh
sense.
yeah, that deserves merit also because he's doing Soundhouse, Button Factory, number one song in the country. He has a cult like following with his Ragers, and he's just making noise. Now, personally, some of
they're
his
touring too.
some of his music, I'm like, I'm not his demographic. I'm not I'm not like a rager like that, but I can understand. It's like when. Like that Tyler the Creator thing when he was coming out, I can see why people gravitate towards that.
I have boys
fuck
that,
the industry.
I have boys that were heavy on Tyler.
Yeah.
So it's like I've seen those what's called those cult like followings. It's crazy, and those are the guys that really like. Those are the guys when they put out merch, it sells out quick.
Yeah.
When they pull out tickets, it sells out. Those are the people that do that. Also, shout out to Victor. 1 million followers in that.
1M.
What's called two trophies.
It's 2 trophies and
trophies at the awards?
The 2 trophies at the award. Yeah, finally. His speech was class. He said, I came here twice. I didn't win it. If I didn't win this year again, I don't know if I'll come back. And also shout out to the curator of Vibes. You threw another year throwing a great event. Keep at it as well. And Black and Irish. I know you guys get a lot of flack, but it's something positive to do anyways. It's a night for people to just get dressed up and have a good time, regardless of the backlash that comes with it. Ultimately, that's what it is, and that's a positive thing.
Yeah, people look good too.
Yeah. People.
What's called? All right, that's that. Sorry, we got a lot to get through. We're just trying to think of everything. All right.
Yeah,
Let's talk about this.
that week was so weird for me because I was so busy with like the missus in the hospital. I didn't have time to process any of it. Like obviously I was in a group chat with people and I was trying to like make jokes here and there and make light of situations, but I really didn't have time to
you didn't give a
sit
fuck,
there
bro.
and process what was happening because it was so removed from my personal problems. But yeah, what did you make of it?
I mean, there's a lot of it, right? First of all, stupid people not doing their research of get the foreigners out, but it was a foreigner that was stabbed. It was okay, wait, for people that aren't Irish that don't know what happened. So correct me if I'm wrong because I don't have all of the details.
Yeah.
But there was an Albanian man that went outside of school and he attacked. I think it was two children and a woman or something like that, and he stabbed them. I think one of the girls was. I can't give you all of the full details. I'm not a news reporter. Anyways, he got grabbed by the feds or whatever. No, what's called a Brazilian man intervened, and the guy got grabbed by the feds. I think the kid went into hospital. Did she die?
I've not heard anything since.
But I think critical condition or whatever.
This was 3-4 weeks ago at this stage.
Yeah.
You know?
So now the Irish decide that they're gonna come out and smoke. They come to town at 7 o'clock, mind you. 7 o'clock, bruv. These are because apparently they're sick of the foreigners. They're taking our jobs. Just tell me on a random Wednesday, are you not supposed to be at work? How the hell did you get home, bally up, and come back to town? So anyways, they come back. They come in the city center now. They start their little thing. They start throwing like attacking guards, all of this kind of shit. And it just goes it pops off. We're seeing group chat messages of we're seeing screenshots and screen video records from group chats with Irish people saying, "Yo, just kill all these foreigners. Like we're gonna show them the Ireland. Just kill them. Ireland is for the Irish."
Yeah.
And all this fucking nonsense and all of that kind of nonsense. I got a few things on this. First of all, the Garda are fuck you, man. No, like genuinely, fuck the feds. Because we tried to have fun and throw, like, okay, wait, let me put it this way, right? So, this is what happened, yeah. The rioters, they set police cars on fire. They what's called, they set a Dublin bus on fire, and they set a tram, Lewis, we call it Lewis, but it's a tram. They set a tram on fire, right? And they were harassing people, attacking feds. So, my thing is, yeah, where were the straps? When it was one man, when it was George, one man by himself, you guys had guns then.
Damn.
You guys had guns then. You guys had smoke then.
Damn.
What's called, when we were trying to have a party at Red Cow for New Year's, we had helicopters then.
Helicopters.
We had helicopters then. Where are the guns? Do you get what I'm saying? They were shooting fireworks at you, man, and you couldn't bring out the guns. Bro, imagine this, yeah? Imagine this. Imagine we're a gang, yeah? Because at the end of the day, let's bring it back to gang. Like, it's just different gangs, isn't it? Mm-hmm. On video recording, they're beating up your gang member. They're throwing trash at his head. They took one of the guards' bike and threw it in the fucking River Liffey in front of him. And you man didn't bring out guns. You man watch your boy get bailed up and did nothing about you.
All you hear is they're gonna call in the army.
They're gonna bro,
deal with it,
man. Bro, these men are shooting fireworks at the feds, and the feds are standing there with their bloody stupid riot shield. Where are the guns, bro? Like this, like you're setting police cars on fire.
Mm-hmm. It looks like Gotham. I saw a video. I was like, what's Batman? This is Batman, pull up.
Yeah, what's called? They're attacking civilians. They're looting. They're breaking into places, and you might still don't have guns. But when it's one black boy with a little blade or little whatever, even nothing, you man are ready to shoot then. But when it's time to bring out this and show force, you man don't want to show force. When is the traveler community standing and what's called setting up bare knuckle fights? You might just want to stand there and look, but when it comes to us, now all of a sudden you have all the smoke. Like, how does it
cowardly.
make sense?
People like can move in packs against one, but then when they have to stand united against a group like that and they're not there, it's cowardly.
You know what's even worse? Because obviously I feel for everybody that was stuck in town them days. Because people, like, this is a random Wednesday. People are trying to go home. People have to go to the office. People are trying to go home. So you're telling me I'm stuck in town and I'm scared. You might can't defend yourself. I'm supposed to call you.
Yeah.
You can't defend your boy that's on camera getting beat up, and I'm supposed to call you.
Imagine going into work the next day.
like, that's the thing. I can't take the Fed seriously, bro. I can't take the Irish police seriously because when it's time to show force, you man don't want to show force. Mm-hmm. When it's one black boy walking down the street minding his own business, you guys want to pull up 5 cars deep.
Yeah, when it's a car driving a bit faster than you wanted to. Now you have energy.
Now all of a sudden, you guys want to raid someone's house. Now there's bare cars. Yeah. But when it's time for you guys to be on smoke, you're not on smoke, and that's why you're pussios. Mm-hmm. Like it's really just like that. Like I just don't I don't understand how. And they're saying that, oh yeah, we arrested 34 people and it's going to court. Do you see how many men were out there? There was bare man out there, and you guys arrested 34.
Some people got away with it too,
bro. I guarantee you that 34 they even arrested wasn't even people that.
Yeah.
Bro.
They have to look like they did something, innit?
Look, but the thing is, I can't take you seriously if your boys are bro. They went up to a guard, they took his bike and threw it in the fucking river. Like
small
how much of a pussy
can
you be?
Do you think they should give them guns in Ireland?
It's not about they have guns. Like regular feds don't walk around with guns, but they like that's a misconception. There are guns here. They only bring it out when they feel necessary. And the last time they felt necessary, because the thing is, genuinely, if it was black people that were rioting like that, I guarantee you we'd be mourning at least 5 people, at least 5, minimum. But all of a sudden, you guys don't have even what's called. Didn't Leo Varadkar come out and start? He didn't talk about the people that are rioting. He said, "Oh, you guys ain't certain man." Bro, man, it's just dumb, man. Like and this is the thing, like us as foreigners and black people and all this, we're just minding our own business, bro. Mm-hmm. Like we're minding our own business, doing our own thing. Something that we had nothing to do with. Now we're getting dragged into this shit. Like now we're getting dragged into, oh, they're taking our jobs, bro. If you don't have a leaving cert, don't chat to me about jobs. Like you have no education, but you're talking that Rashid and them man are taking the hospital jobs. You can't get a hospital job, bro. And that's just what it is. Like, yeah, man, it's just annoying. And
I hear everything you're saying there, and even just on that the riot themselves, it then becomes like, I get people being angry. An innocent child is hurt. I get the anger and the frustration, and everybody has a right to be angry. It's just then they become so misdirected and so like it become even like people like Conor McGregor going and on the timeline inciting this thing. Like, if anything happens to a youth, I understand feeling like empathetic. Like, we've seen pictures of like, and that's the thing. I was listening to the last day actually driving here, and they're talking about like there's also an element in general, not of this of like desensitization, because we see black people with their knees on someone until they start breathing. We see the wars in Gaza, so we see this, and it's like people are like, oh shit, this happened. That's sad. And you kind of go about your day because you're so used to seeing negativity every day. But then at the same breath, I understand people being like, you know what? Somebody got a kid got hurt today on Irish soil. This should not be tolerated. I fully get that.
100%.
But then the way they went and they did about it is just silly. Some people are looking for a reason. And some people are angry people and their life is shit, their life is on the barrel, their life is whatever. And they can't look at themselves in the mirror and look like, maybe I should do better. So they have to look at you and me and say, my life is shit because you and you are here. Because if you weren't here, my life would be better. So this is just an opportunity for me. This is just an opportunity for me to release this anger that I've been feeling. I'm like, you know what? I live this life that I live because of you. Because the people that are in my office, they don't live the shit lives. They pay for their mortgages. They're not outright because they're at peace with the life they live within themselves because they have the jobs, they have the stability. But you, mans, that your life is shit, you need someone to direct this anger at. You have nobody. You find an excuse. You found an outlet to be like, yeah, it's you, mans, that are doing this. So I'm gonna go right here and I'm gonna show you. Show me what? You showed me nothing. Like, you showed me absolutely. You just cost people their jobs. Some people couldn't go to work in Foot Locker the next day. Some people can't make their ends meet that way. Those people are working those retail jobs with students that, like a student that has to get that job because they have to go to union, they have to support themselves. They can't get that income. So the people that you're affecting, you're not really affecting who you think you're affecting. You're just releasing your emotion in a completely negative way. And then, we can have conversations in like different conversations around immigration. I get people always wanting to back their own and be saying like, yeah, we have homeless people here, so why are we funding the Ukrainians? I get that. Because if I lived in Congo and there's homeless Congolese people and we're seeing like Angolans come in and we're housing them, I'll probably be like, yo, bruv, we have our own to look after. So there is a different conversation that we can have there. But in this specific instance, I'm like, brother, it was just an opportunity for some people, for angry people, for people that are sad with their lives. For racists. They just found a way to be like, some of them probably felt better going home. Some of them, even though it was wrong, they just like, the human in them, they say, I've released that energy that's been building inside of me.
All the hate for niggas.
All the hate I just feel. So, because that clip was insane. If you just see them kill them. And like, we know people that live in town, and they were like saying, "I can't go out in town anytime soon. I can't go outside."
Like, my brother's paying Simpleton next day. He
I saw that.
To put it out.
Look at the vibe when he finally got it on.
Yeah,
Shout out GB Events.
What's called? We'll speak about the paint sip as well. But even I remember Ness lives in town, but the thing is, she would have had like I think she had a meeting or something like that. But if it was for that, she would have been stuck there. Yeah. I saw tweets of people were actually like. Women stuck in town. Do you get what I'm saying? Even one of the boys was catching a flight, and he's like, he got his bus probably like 10 minutes before all that shit happened. Do you get what I'm saying? Like you don't know the anxiety, bro. We walk around with anxiety anyways.
Yeah.
But then to the anxiety of, yo, these men are on the hunt for people like me.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. Now, Black and Irish, yeah. First of all, thank you for the award. Everything you man on that side, what you man are doing, rate it. However. My one thing, it's not that I don't like me personally. Yeah, I expect nothing from them.
Yep.
And it's not that I expect you to come in on your cape and save everybody and do all that. That's not what I expect. Mm-hmm. However, your whole thing is based off activism, innit?
Yeah.
When it's time to activate, you man don't activate.
Fuck off, DJ. Why you say it like that?
You're activist. When it's time to activate, activate.
But what you mean by like activate?
Okay, this is the thing. I watched their what's called? I watched their story when I was coming out. Obviously, Leon was doing his book shit. And then this happened. And then I saw their statement. First of all, shout out to APNI. Because APNI released the statement that I thought Black and Irish would have released. And Black and Irish released the statement that APNI released. Black and Irish statement to me, and this is me personally. It read to me, what happened was crazy. Y'all be safe though.
You stay safe out there, man.
Y'all be safe, man. It's crazy out there. That's what I heard from you. And not that I'm expecting you to go out on the streets and be risking your lives and shit like that. Nah, that's not what I'm expecting. But what's it called? There are people stuck in town, bro. I've been working a full-time job and I've been living paycheck to paycheck. That if you catch me at the wrong time, I can't afford a taxi home. There's no buses. I can't be on the streets. Bro, even if it was like, I'm not expecting you to do anything crazy, but I'm expecting you to do something. Do you get what I'm saying? Even if it's like throw up a PayPal link and it's like, yo, anybody that was stuck in town on that day and maybe couldn't afford it, we can reimburse your taxi. Even just something small.
Yeah.
You'll be safe though isn't a statement. What's called, especially from the people that are saying that they're supposed to be here for us when we needed you. Not that we needed you, but when it was your time, and this is the thing. Remember, I sat here and I told you, like their PR is shit. You had the opportunity to turn that shit around even a tiny bit. All this 10-point plan that you're doing, and you're meeting up with all these politicians. When it's time to check them, are you checking them? And the thing is, there's only so much that you can say. Yeah, we're doing all of this shit behind the scenes. It's cool, but you can't get mad at me for telling you that you do nothing. Yep. If all I do see is Black and Irish Awards, thanks to the award, by the way.
Podcast of the year 2023.
Hopefully 2024. but jokes aside, but like AP and I, all they did was, yours crazy out there, y'all be safe. And also, for some people, it might be challenging on the mental health. Here's the link to some black therapists. Do you get what I'm saying? Action. Y'all be safe isn't an action.
Yeah. Well.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, your whole thing is like, for Black and Irish people in Ireland, like, the thing is, I don't expect anything from you, but if you tell me that you're doing something, when it's time for you to do that thing, I expect to see something from you. Do you get what I mean? And that's what my problem is. Yeah. That's what I'm just kind of like, it felt like statement, reshared a couple of people that put up the statement, back to promoting the book.
And the awards.
Yeah. Once again, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, bruv, if this is the time,
again, we've had this conversation. We had this conversation in the group chats, and I think the thing is, everybody could see each other's perspective, because to me, Black and Irish is a platform to promote Black and Irish, let's say, creators, people that are doing things that are Black and Irish in the scene. I've never looked at them as I think I've said this to them, and I've never looked at them as a place that are saying like, oh, they're going to create change. Personally, I've just looked at them as like, let's say a media outlet. If Newbury are doing an event and they need someone to promote their event, or they need someone to showcase their event, you go to Black and Irish and say, hey, we're doing this cool thing. Can you help us here? Or you have a book coming out and say, oh, we have a book coming out. Can you help me promote a book? It's Black and Irish Media Publishing. Like, that's kind of what my expectation comes from them. So when this was happening, it never even crossed my mind that they're going to be like, oh, yeah, they should do something. Because it's out of scope of my expectations, if that makes sense.
No, yeah.
Like, so for me, when they released a statement, and I felt like, okay, they released a statement, but the awards are on Saturday, pretty on brand from what I expect from them. And maybe it's on me. Maybe I should have high expectations. Maybe I should be like, you know what, you've positioned yourself. Like Simba said it to us. He says, you guys weren't here, you weren't analyzing shit. You position yourself as the highest level of analysis. Can you please do some analyzing? And he said, you might as well analyze this shit, so I didn't really fuck with the episode because you weren't doing what you said. So if you position yourself as a place where you can help the Black and Irish community, the minute you're not helping the Black and Irish community when that help is required, we can call it out. Now, they might say, we've had Eric and all them on the podcast. They might say, no, we do stuff behind the scenes that you guys don't see. They're just not on the forefront of social media, so you guys don't see it. Fair enough. But we can only give our opinion on based on what we do see. All we did see was a statement. We didn't see it. And then on the weekend, we saw the awards. So we're like, okay, that's what they're showing me. That's what I'm going to believe. If they did help Drew Links and send therapists out, fair enough. But I don't have that expectation of them. Like I said, I said media and Irish media publishing. If that's what they said, like, yeah, Jordan DJ has an event, let's promote, or nursing with Winnie, let's promote her. She's doing something cool. That's how I see it, as a promotional tool for Black and Irish people, more than a place that will help or create change for Black and Irish people.
No,
that's how I see them.
I hear that. Look, to be honest, that's how I see them too. I don't like. Once again, I'm not. Me personally, I'm not expecting. I don't expect a lot from them. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't expect anything really from them. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna be down bad and be like, oh, let me turn to Black and Irish. Maybe they can help me. It's not like that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, if I have something and I feel like they might be able to push it, cool, we can collaborate. But I don't expect that from them. Do you get what I'm saying? But like, when it's like, are you backing what you're saying? Do you get what I'm saying? Because you'll come up here and you say that, oh, we're pushing these politicians.
10-point plan.
We got a 10-point plan. We're doing this. Bro, have we even heard about this 10-point plan?
You're positioning yourself as if you can make change within the Black and Irish community.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, your foundations are built off of George Floyd, if we were being fucking honest.
Yeah.
Your foundations are built off your foundations are built off of that. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, yo, that's what you guys are saying that you're positioning yourself for, and you guys want to influence change, and you want to be able to press these politicians and shit like that. But when it comes down to it, are you doing that? And the thing is, once again, I don't have all the information. I'm not in Black and Irish. I don't have any like ties with Black and Irish and affiliation like that. Do you get what I'm saying? However,
just ask Ron.
What's good? However, when it feels like when it comes down to crunch time, and it's time for you guys to actually get the appreciation from the community. You guys aren't there to do the things to get that appreciation, and it's not just gonna come. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I did see people going at them, DJ Ahmed and a couple other people going at them.
Congo Boy always going at them. Congo Boy goes at them and he adds Dungo. What you want Dungo to do?
Because we do content, sometimes people see us in weird ways, like, bruv. But what's called? Even what was I gonna say? Yeah, even what's called? DJ Ahmed's daughter getting attacked. That's literally a Black and Irish girl that got attacked. Bro, once again, I'm not gonna sit here like I have all the answers. This is just me saying how I feel. Where is there support there? Like, have we spoken about that? Have you guys spoken about that? Because that's a Black and Irish person that got attacked by two random Irish lads. The court case just came about. Are we speaking about this? Are you man pushing people? Are you man pressing people? Are you man like? Because the thing is, if you write out more for racism that happens outside of Ireland rather than the one in Ireland, are you really Black and Irish?
Yeah, that's you always have to, like I said, you have to champion home first before you can make the other states. So you have to win at home first. Once you win at home, then maybe.
And genuinely, and I say this, and I've said it to Leon when he's come on. I've said it to Eric and them. It just feels like you man are just trying to us man, because we got words now. It just feels like you man are just trying to benefit and create certain comforts for yourselves off of our pain. And that's what it is. And from somebody that constantly gets stopped by the police, from somebody that has literally been walking down the street minding his own business, getting stopped by police, telling me that, yo, what's called, you look like someone I've arrested before, show me your ID. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Now that's shit that I've lived through. That's shit that honestly it didn't feel like pain at the moment, because it's just
you kind of
down to our life. I'm desensitized to it. But that's life. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's what that's what it feels like you man are using to do up enjoyment, to do up book signing, to do up, and do you get what I'm saying? And that's why it fucking pisses people off. Do you get what I'm saying? If you want to be, if the content thing is what you're good at and you want to focus on that, slap media company at the end, and let's leave it at that.
Well, the revolution isn't for everybody. It never was.
Yeah, but if you're saying that you're coming to lead, if you're saying you're coming to lead the revolution, bro, activate, bro.
Yeah, like again, we've had this conversation privately, so. I see your side. As like, sometimes it's how you position yourself is how you want us to see them. Again, to my Simba example, we position ourselves that way. So he went to us for that, and when he didn't see it, he's like, "You man's aren't what you're saying you are." Exactly. So he went away. So we also be able to call it out. It's like, you guys are positioning yourself as we talk to politicians, we're trying to legislate change, and this is a moment for you to be like, rise, like as Goody says on the thing, rise. Yeah, this is your time to rise, and it looks like you're not rising. Now you can tell us like, oh no, we were behind the scenes, we're talking to blah blah. Bro, you can.
I'm tired of behind the scenes, bro. Like, it's not everything. It's not everything behind the scenes. Literally, it's actually not everything behind the scenes. Sometimes put pressure on niggas. Let us know that you're putting pressure on who are you putting pressure on?
Why won't even back you? We might comment there. We'll be there. We'll be there.
The thing is, if we see that, yo, these men are actually trying to ride for us, we're gonna back you.
Yeah.
And we will be there. But look, that's enough of that.
That's enough of that. I want to bring up one thing first. Yeah. Do you think we don't have personality?
What? Look, you might want us to wild out on this pod. And if that's what you want, we will happily.
I bring that up. I love Dave Smith because the thing is, If I Speak drops like 6 p.m. here, but it's lunchtime in Canada. Yep. So I always listen to If I Speak the following day because I'm like, it's 6 p.m. Let me I'll listen.
Wait. Context, please.
Okay.
Because not everybody. I think the episode's still not back up.
It's not back up. I actually wanted to watch it back when I was I'll get into it. So, If I Speak podcast by Dongle had their episode 10 with the Where's Your Head At Lads, and they're going to the Black and Irish Awards. So then they were talking about podcast of the year, and then Charger came up in the conversation. So then they were asking like why we haven't translated or gone to that next step, even though we pod very well, like. Because I know the people in the room, I know it was coming from a good place. Like I know Dongo, I know Tommy anyways, and I've known Snow for ages. Katie's probably the one I probably have not much of a relationship with, if I'm being honest. So because of people in that room, I know it's coming from a good place. Yeah. So they talked about the podcast and they talked about like maybe they gave us feedback, said these guys can pod, they pod well, and they're like natural podcasters because they've been doing this since 2017. But maybe they lack that personality or that element of funny or something is missing with them. Maybe they just don't have the personality for it to kind of capture the masses or capture the general people. Now, I didn't see this initially. I was gonna watch it anyways because I like Where's Your Head On. I like If I Speak. I like Dongo. So I was gonna watch it the next day. So I'm chilling at home, 8 o'clock. Shout out Dave. Dave, when Simba was like, I don't like Charger, Dave was like,
This is the thing, yeah. If someone says something that even seems bad about Charger, he's ready to write. Like, we have to be in the group chat like, brother.
It's not this one.
Put it down.
Even when they said podcast dads and whatever, Dave was ready to write out then when they said me and Dumbo like podcast dad with kids. I was like, David, it's okay.
Cool down.
I love the bro. I really do. Shout out Dave. But then I'm watching it, yeah, and I'm watching him say it. It's like, again, I'm watching it from a place of like when Dave sends you the timestamp, you're already kind of like in a defensive stance.
It's like, yo, what are these niggas saying?
Yeah, like I'm waiting to hear something I'm not going to necessarily like. And the next day, like I hear what they're saying because after hearing what they said in terms of personality and humor.
Wait, what did they say, bro? I need context.
So they said they're talking about podcast of the year. And then they said they're talking about all the nominations and they're talking about how Get the Gist isn't there. And Goody's like, oh yeah, maybe charge it. And then I think Katie was like, I think maybe they don't have that personality. And Dongo was like, yeah, Dongo said it was on the pod. He's like saying, you guys, I feel like you're missing that extra personality that will really capture the masses. So he said it to our faces. It's not like he went on a podcast and he said it. Initially, when I heard it, it's like, okay, it's not I haven't heard before. Like, I think you said Ness said to you once, or maybe Ness said to Dave that you guys play too safe. Like, it's if you're hearing it a couple of times, there's an element to it. But the only way I felt a way about it, I'm gonna be honest, is because it sounded like it was being said to diminish what we did this year. Because if we're talking about podcast of the year, you have to talk about body of work, what you achieved this year. They narrowed it down to just again, I'm gonna be honest. I love KD. I said it to KD on his podcast. I said what he's done with Open Circle. I wish I had that when I was a young Christian. It probably would have pushed me more. But from I wish I could go back and listen when I was less emotional. But it was gone. From his standpoint, it was like you're having a conversation. It sounded like he was diminishing what the podcast has done because he didn't think we had the personality that could encapsulate the masses. And if you're doing anything of the year, you don't talk about one element. You talk about the whole body of work. Now, and personality can definitely come into that for sure. Like Dongo has a good person. Like he has the personality for it. He has probably the podcast moment of the year with Nobody's in Ireland. There's definitely a case you could have made that we shouldn't win. I'm not saying we should. Get the Gist had a good case. I said it to Fiona. Dongo had a good case. Where's your head? I always have a good case to win any given year. So there's definitely elements you could have said, no, I think Get the Gist could win because their social media growth, their consistency, and I think that's a good argument. But it made me feel away because it sounded like, is this guy kind of diminishing everything, all the aspects, and just boiling it down to personality? I watched him on Bar for Bar. He was saying, oh, we praise mediocrity too much. Fair enough. But then one podcast he had the most noise for is the podcast of 5 episodes in the year. So he's propping up that episode. He's propping up that podcast. And I think Unity and Ola are stars if they stay consistent. But if we're talking about podcast of the year, why are we now saying like, oh, they have 5 episodes, but because they have the personality, let's put them in this conversation? His analysis, I just don't think his analysis was correct in that instance. Do you know what? That kind of way. Now, I wish I could go back and listen because I was like, maybe when Dave sent it to me, I was already...
Fam, bro.
Emotions were already high.
When someone sends you a video with a timestamp, say, have you heard this?
See?
I'm not expecting something good.
Exactly. So I wish... And I had this conversation with Goody on the personality aspect. I even agree with Katie on this personality aspect. Personality is what takes you over the top. I said life is WWE. Stone Cold is Steve Austin. Conor McGregor. Soulja Boy is not the best rapper, but he's probably as famous as any rapper in their peak because of the personality. Like, even in football, Ibrahimovic, he's not the one of the best players ever, but the personality elevated him. So I do agree that you do need that element of personality to take you over the top. And Goody does have that, and Snow does have that. And I think Ola and Unity do have that personality that will... And I think I've said this about Get the Gist. They have that personality that will maybe capture the masses.
They'll draw you in.
Yeah, in a way that maybe we don't. So I do agree with that. But the one thing I didn't really see eye to eye was, and we can disagree, it's like, it sounded like you started to diminish everything else. Like, you don't have to pick us for podcast of the year. But the fact is you're kind of saying like, oh, they don't have the personality. And then in the same breath, you're big enough to podcast for 5 episodes of the year to put them in that same conversation. But I've seen you on Bar for Bar saying we praise mediocrity too much. For me, 5 episodes in the year, that's mediocre. That's a mediocre thing. Not that their podcast is mediocre, because Heartbreak in Paris, I will say till today, it's one of the best podcast episodes I've ever heard. I always say this.
It's not about them.
It's not about them. It's just about the concept. So that's how it made me feel. I was like, especially towards that, because Goody said it to us, and I don't disagree with him. I was on the phone to Goody. I was like, the whole personality thing, I actually hear it, and I blame him to an extent because a lot of people in Ireland's podcast entry was stuck it in, I was gone. So we've been listening to podcasts since 2017. We know you have to have good conversation, good chemistry, good banter, good laugh, can be serious, can also have a joke. So we try to incorporate that because that's what we know podcasts to be. But people within our within our scene or within our community, they saw stuck it in, I was gone. So they're expecting to, that's what podcast, this is what they come and listen to a podcast. If you don't have those moments, and that's Goody's personality. He knows how his podcast is tough because he has to be funny and engaging as well as interview. And he can do both. And that's his personality. So that was the only way I was like, I looked at it, I was like, I don't disagree with the element of you need more personality because we've heard this, you think Ness said it to you, Goody said it to us, and we're hearing it again. And there is definitely an element of truth to it. But my disagreement is if we're talking about anything of the year, you have to look at body of work. You can't just look at one aspect and then try to diminish everything else because that one aspect is lacking. That's how I felt about it.
It's funny because after Jordan listened to it, he just sends it to me, minute 34. Listen to this. I say, okay, let's go. I listen to it. The thing is, for me as well, like for me, if it's people that I understand that like show love and fuck with us, I'll listen to you. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I know that none of it came from a place of malice.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So
I agree with that.
As soon as I know that something isn't said from a place of malice, it usually throws it like I'm like, all right, cool. Let me actually listen to what you're saying.
Yeah.
What they're saying genuinely, I hear, and I will say for myself, because then obviously like we've always had these conversations around the place anyways, but it prompted me to go have a bit more of the conversations. Like, yo, actually, people that listen to the pod regularly, even Tommy was saying it, like, yo, actually, no, I think they do. Like Tommy was, and also the thing is, in that room, 2 out of 4 listen to us every week. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Our clips, we might not pick the best clips all the time. Sometimes, like, we stay away from certain things because we don't want to be the podcast that's just like, bro. They'll tell us they'll say take out mics regardless, but it's not that.
I know whenever I see that quote, I know the clips about man. This is what to go off.
So it's not about like oh, we don't want to be that, but it's like there's certain shit that we know we can say just for that. Yeah. But that's not me. Yeah. That's not you. Do you know what I'm saying? However, on the flip side though, I it's been told to me that it feels like I hold back on the pod a lot. And you know, it's true, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, when it comes to be like, you know what our problem is, we don't take ourselves too seriously, number one.
Hey, Ron, look at this.
Look, man, it's winner's drip.
Winner's drip.
What's called? We don't take ourselves too seriously when it comes to this thing. So when people start coming here and telling us we hold weight and we do this, we look at that and we cringe. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And I feel like, you know what we are, we're the rapper that raps well, but doesn't do
the numbers.
That raps well, but doesn't do everything else. They just think that I'm the coldest rapper. Why isn't nobody listening to me? Yeah. I feel like that's us. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when it comes to the scene side of going out or doing this, or like, you have to be a bit more salacious. You have to be a bit more, you have to say things with a bit more chest. I do feel like, for me personally, I'll speak for myself, I held back a lot on the pod. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I do hold back on the pod. There's certain parts of my personality that the pod has never seen. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you see in dribs and drabs. And I feel like as a content creator, I feel like I'm still insecure as a content creator. Because sometimes, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, the insecurity is crazy. Like, sometimes I'll see the pod and I won't even share it. Sometimes I'll see a clip and I'll be like, I'm spitting facts. I'm spitting facts. But I'm like, did you really want to post this? You get what I'm saying? Even though I've said it on the pod, it's out there for the world to listen to. Yeah. But that pressure of like, when you post it now, on your page especially,
I got it ready for the smoke. I'm so different. When I say facts, I want the world to see that. Like, I don't want to see that clip. I like, watch this, guys. Watch this right now.
Naturally, I'm not the person that's outside. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm usually, and as much as people don't understand or people don't get it, I'm actually usually the shy person, the quiet person. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be the center of attention. I'm not trying to be on stage. I'm not trying to do that. Like, that's why I always laugh at myself and say I'm a walking contradiction. And you know what? Even before Dave left, I feel like Dave was the crowd favorite,
because of that.
Because he just comes out and he'll say some stupid shit.
Yeah.
Like, just dumb shit that...
Even
like,
when he said to you in the group chat that day, I was like, this right here is a clip. This is a clip right now.
If there's one thing Dave loves, is some homoerotic banter.
He said, I look you in the eyes.
But yeah, so do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, bro, saying things with something just a bit more chest. I feel like also, since Dave left, because Fiona said, what's called, like, since we became a duo, it's been different. Do you get what I'm saying? And like I said before, we weren't boys before.
Yeah.
And I knew once Dave left, our chemistry on the pod is going to come up from our friendship behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like, it's making that conscious effort to be like, yo, I'm going to tell you what's going on.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Now I can be like, Jordan, you remember that scene? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So things get better and all that kind of shit. So I actually do appreciate the criticism. Like,
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I get it. And
the criticism wasn't wrong. The personality part wasn't wrong.
Mm-hmm.
The part that I disagreed with, it was sound like it was diminishing every other aspect of the pod because of one element. That's what I felt.
I feel like there were two conversations happening at the same time.
Exactly.
Katie was having a different conversation.
To podcast of the year.
We're talking about the awards. If we're talking about the awards and podcast of the year, like if Drake comes out and drops one song, but who's a lot lower level than Drake?
Young boy. Sorry, young boy.
Oh, let's say NBA Youngboy.
Yeah.
Has gone out and sold out shows, and he's been dropping 3-4 albums or whatever. It's impossible to give Drake even album of the year or something like
Exactly.
that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas he wasn't saying that we don't have talent or whatever, but it's like you're talking about okay, you're criticizing the podcast as opposed to be talking about okay, what have they done this year? Do you know what I'm saying? So I can see where you come from, but that's why 2024 you gonna get some more raw, unfiltered motherfuckers. We're gonna say what we feel. We're gonna say it with our chest, and that's what it's gonna be. You guys want to see personality? We'll show you fucking personality. Innit?
Yeah.
And yeah, that's really it. Like,
and that's the thing. Again, I was even thinking about it on the draft because I knew we'll talk about this. It's like I watch sports. Yeah, we all talk about Lukaku. In 2012, he comes into football. He need raw power and aggression. That's the kind of player he is, and that's what they look for a striker. He's tall, blah blah blah. 5-6 years into his career, the game's changed. Everybody's looking for like a striker to hold up, a link up, but that's not his game. So he's trying to play a game that doesn't lend himself to his game, but that's how he's gonna play the game, today's game. So when we start listening to podcasts, we'll listen to good convos, funny convos, banter, blah blah blah. Yeah,
there was no visuals.
Yeah, exactly. You're just listening for good conversation. So then we're doing it from 2023. It's changed a bit. So we're kind of like, oh wow, I know podcasts to be good banter, good conversation, and that's what I feel like we're creating. But then you're seeing like the moments of like, oh, my boyfriend had four girlfriends. He told me to, he told me to mind my business, or stuck it in, I was gone, or these are all like, there's nobody's in Ireland. I'm like, so the game has changed.
Even if we talk about our podcast, yo, short men, clips. What's it called? It's begging
to pray for marriage. Clips. So it's also understanding. It's like, you know what? To their point, it's like it makes sense why Tommy. It's like it makes sense why he likes our podcast because he's out of the tree. He's the pure podcaster. Like Snow is funny, so unintentionally funny. But Tommy comes there to create good conversations, to have he's obviously there to have a laugh as well. So it makes sense when I hear him say like, no, I like the boys' conversation because I'm like, yeah, I know why you listen to podcasts, and what you listen to podcasts is what we offer. But I also understand what people that go there is like, you know what, I'm here to be entertained. That they're like, this is not If I Speak. Like, yeah, I'm not like laughing every other 10 minutes, but sometimes with podcasts, you're not gonna laugh for like 20 minutes. Like you might just get conversation or a point of view and things. Yeah. And that's what you might get for a good 20 minutes. But I get it. So the game has changed and it is a personality era. And like with everything, it's a personality that transcends everything. The personality transcends the WWE, the football, the MMA, everything in life. Life is WWE. So I do understand the criticism, but to your point, just to button it up, is like, yeah, there was definitely two conversations. The only way I felt the way is like, first, Dave sending it to me, I was expecting not to like what I heard.
Especially when it's Dave.
Yeah. And then secondly, I wish I could go back, but listen to it one time, it sounded like they were diminishing the year we had based on one element of the podcast. That's it.
Yeah. I feel like there's more shit to talk about. 2024, what are we doing?
Yeah, what are you going to do going into 2024?
Are we talking about for the pod?
No, for yourself first.
The consistency that I put into the pod this year, I need to put into myself next year.
Why do you find it easy to put consistency into the pod?
You.
Yeah, I was going to say, because you have someone to hold you accountable. It's like having a gym partner that you go to the gym with. It's like, yeah, if I can't let that person down.
Like-
but you can't let yourself down.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, you know what I realized? Like, I show up for people, but I don't show up for myself. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if someone told me, yo, Dij, I need you 4 a.m., be here, whatever, or 6 a.m., be here, whatever, I'll be there. But if I tell myself, yo, 6 a.m., be
Go
at
to the gym.
blah, blah, blah. 6:30.
You can't keep breaking promises to yourself, bro.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But it's like having somebody that, but the thing is, like, when it comes to like personal development and shit like that, nobody's going to keep you as accountable as yourself. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, like, with the pod, obviously, there's people that want to listen. There's you that I've got, like, there's you, we're paying for this, we're paying for that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, there's so many other things that.
That's true.
I'm, like, a lot of the times when I show up to the pod, sometimes it's not for myself.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, you don't know how many times of this year, this pod, I didn't want to fucking be
Yeah.
here. But
They've
it's
said
like,
we have a guest booked. The guest is there at 6:30.
you know what I'm saying?
So it's like,
we've moved the guest twice.
It's like the Santanas. How many times are we supposed to get the Santanas on?
Bro.
And that Sunday we're finally supposed to get them on. You're stuck in London. I'm stuck in hospital. so it's like,
Bro.
we gotta move the Santanas again.
do you get what I'm saying? So it just feels like it's just been easier to be consistent with the podcast because, all right, cool, there's someone that cares about the podcast as much as me right beside me. Do you get what I'm saying? But there's nobody that cares about me more than me. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, so it's kind of like it's just taking that same level of consistency of showing up for the podcast. So it's like, yo, I'm not trying to hear questions of, yo, Dij, why didn't you show up today?
Yeah.
Or Dij, where have you been for the past 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Or Dij, do you get what I'm saying? Whereas when it's myself, I can shut up, bro.
It's just that
You know what
voice
I'm
in your
saying?
head.
Yeah, bro, man.
Kuda. Reduce
You
it.
know what? If it starts getting too loud, take a little sip of some JD. But yeah, so next year is just about like, I feel like I was placed in a lot of positions this year that I shouldn't have been.
Like in what position?
Losing my job, yeah. Because the problem isn't not having a job. I've been there. I've been comfortable. I've left jobs without having the next thing. But it being snatched from me,
Yeah.
I was like, because I've never been fired.
On the
Everywhere I've
week's
gone,
notice.
I've always left.
Yeah.
And
I've been fired once as well.
For you to tell me, yo, next week Friday is your last day.
Yeah, next week Friday is crazy.
And I'm looking like,
Me, they even let me go and they said we'll pay for the last 2 weeks.
you know what's crazy? I'm still supposed to be employed in that same job till now. My contract is still doesn't end till like next week. Do you get what I'm saying? So for you to be telling me that, yo, next week is done.
And when was this again?
This was my last day was the day before our karaoke.
Jeez.
So that was the last day I worked.
That was
You get
still
what I'm saying?
summer, wasn't it?
Bro, my last day was the 24th of August.
Yeah, that was because I was like saying that was definitely before my birthday. Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And it's kind of like there's other situations as well that I've been putting bro, this year, yeah, there was points in this year that I was broke like I was in uni. I'm a big man.
There's just levels of broke you can't be anymore.
You know what I'm saying? you know when, bro, have you ever looked at yourself in disgust? Like, you look at your account and you're like, even if I wanted to go do something right now, I couldn't. Do you know what I'm saying? There was one day, yeah, I was in my house and I didn't want to be home. And I actually just realized,
You have no
I
choice.
can't even leave.
No choice. That's uni level of broke.
Do you get what I'm
That's
saying?
uni level of broke.
Do you get what I mean? And it's like, the only reason you're in this position is because you didn't do what you needed to do.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? And just being once again taught certain lessons, all that kind of shit. So it's just kind of like there's certain things that happened to me this year that for a fact it will never happen to me again.
Amen.
And that's genuinely what the motivation for next year is. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's kind of like even on a personal level, like I said, yeah, there's points in this year that I was without even noticing and probably mad depressed. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's kind of like I've been there before. Why am I there again? It's like I knew what got me there in the first place. Why did I do that same shit to get me there again? And it's like, bruv, at what point do you learn your fucking lesson? Don't be here. Do you get what I mean? And it's just about like, all right, cool, bruv, I'm gonna learn this fucking lesson in it. And next year is about applying. Not even next year, because the thing is, I always feel like I do this thing as well. It's like I wait for the perfect moment to start something.
Yeah.
But it's like if you wait for the first of January to start what you need to start, and you wake up and you have a bad day that day, are you gonna wait till the 1st of January again?
Yeah. And I think that I see someone says sometimes planning is just a type of procrastination. That, like sometimes you just have to start. Like I always tell myself, sometimes like, oh, I'm gonna plan it. I need to do it. I need to write it out. It's like it's just another form of procrastinating. Because saying I need all the stars to align. Sometimes you just need to hit go and go with it.
You know what as well, yeah? like I said, this year you guys want personality, you get personality.
He's gonna be on the worst stage next year. Personality of the year goes to Big Ditch.
You know, next year I wouldn't worry about myself. You know what as well. Even realizing like certain things that I feel like I brush over things a lot very quickly because like I don't have time to wallow.
Yeah.
Because if I wallow, it's gonna get peak.
That's kind of what I was talking about the miscarriage earlier. Like I feel like I didn't have that time to wallow. It's fine. I just have to keep going.
But then the thing is, you don't know that. Granted, just because you left the house didn't mean you dropped the trauma. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's kind of like looking back at me and my boy starting our recruitment agency and all that kind of shit, and then that failing, and I feel like that turned me negative about everything. Do you get what I'm saying? Like my brother and one of my boys they were talking about an idea that they had. And I'm just like, yo, but what if this happens? Or what if this happens? Or what if this happens? And my brother just go, and this is something that he said to me before. And it's not only him that said it to me. Like, that's why I don't come to Dej with ideas, because he just tells you everything that can go wrong. And I was like, when did I become that person? Because I used to be the person of,
go for it.
Slap that, you make that happen.
Yeah, I think even when Dami, the one that lives in Amsterdam, when she came on the pod and she was like, it's because of you. She was like, you told her, just do the podcast. You'll figure it out. Just do the podcast. And then that kind of gave her the courage to be like, you know what, fuck it. Let me just do it. Yeah.
But recently, it's just been like everything is like, why you can't do this because of this? Or what if this happens? Or what if this happens? And you know, it's one of those things like, you know what they say, like, it never gets as bad as it's gonna be in your head.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I'm thinking of every possibility of like, bro, if there's a 0.0001% chance that happens. But I'm thinking like, boy, if that happens,
a lot of it is like it kind of happens like in adulthood a lot with people. Just your risk factor. That's like, again, football analogies. When you see a young player come in, they're fearless. Like they're just playing. Freedom. But then when they're 30, they're scared to make mistakes. And that freedom goes. So just with age, we get a bit more conservative with ourselves because preservation happens a lot more. Because when you're young, you think you're invincible. Remember, 16, you jump over a wall, you run here, you go to that estate. But then you get to 30, you're kind of like, oh no, what if? So I do get what you're saying, that you don't want to be that person. But sometimes it is just a factor of like the more you get, the more conservative you get about life, and the more less risk you're willing to take.
But the thing is, well, once again, like I like to say, like I'm a walking contradiction, because on the flip side of saying that though, I'm in the group chat saying, boys, let's just do this fucking live show. Like, why the fuck are we?
And it was because of you that we did a live show.
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. When it comes to all this other shit, like even. Remember the thing you said about your boy, me hosting the thing?
Yeah.
The first thing I was thinking is, I don't think I can do that, bro. Like, what if this? What if this? What if this? Do you know what I'm saying? And like, even to a certain degree.
He actually said if you change your mind, it'll move. He said, this guy's trying to cut costs, man. He's trying to cut costs.
But what's it called? Like, it's just like, everything that I've done has been out of just boldness and just saying, fuck it. And if it goes wrong, I trust myself to get myself out of it.
Yeah.
But then somewhere along the line, it's changed to, if I can't figure it out in my head perfectly,
now there's no point to do it.
It doesn't happen. Do you get what I'm saying? But the thing is, at every single, like, bro, at every point around us, we've always seen, like, I've seen, my mom has been a risk taker from time.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? I've seen nothing but risk. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, I understand what that risk does. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, and the thing is, even before that, like certain shit I used to do before, people were like, Dej, what the fuck? Like, why do you even fucking try that? I was like, because why not? Like,
like Nathan said, just do it scared. Yeah, you're scared to do it, just do it scared.
You know what I'm saying? Like I always say, there's pivotal points in my life here, and one of them was being like 15 with one of my white boys after school in our uniforms. I think, in our uniforms, walking into the sex shop, and the woman.
Who else with the sex god Dej?
You know. Who else? But the woman goes, oh, show me some ID. This guy flips out our student ID cards with our date of birth on it, flips it out, shows it to her like that, and flips it back up. And she says, yeah, you guys will roam around. So I was like, oh, so it's just confidence you need.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And then for some reason, somewhere along the way,
you lost that confidence.
I lost that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just kind of like, you need to just ease yourself into it and just be that guy again.
In a different way, I've also feel like I've lost my confidence, like in a different way, because I'm naturally more an extroverted person. Mm-hmm. But like over the last year, I found myself going into my shell a lot more. Like even like at work, I can make friends, I can do the banter, but sometimes I'm just like, nah, I'm not really on this. Or I just find it hard to even be around people that I wouldn't otherwise be around with. And I know in our field, it's like, it's difficult because you have to be out and you have to network and you have to socialize, and it is a part of it and it's something you have to do. But over the last year, and I've just found myself kind of be like a bit more like timid or conservative, and I don't know what, like, again, like you, I don't know what's played to that. I don't know why I've gone so much into my shell. I don't know if it's just a thing of like I'm comfortable with the people around my life that I don't want to like if I don't have to exert energy with people I have to exert energy with, I won't. Because even stuff like going to the Christmas parties and they're telling me, oh, we're having a Christmas party, are you pulling up? And I'm just like, 2 years ago I would have been on it, but today I'm like,
yeah, but also you like being home at 9 o'clock now.
do you know what I mean? So that's something I want to work on next year. I want to kind of get out of my shell a little bit more and trying to be out there more, whether it be for the podcast or at work or even going back to going to church regularly. Because that's something I was like, I have a church 10 minutes away from my house. But at the same breath, I'm like, I don't really want to be around
all those new
people. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know when that happened because naturally, I'm an extroverted person. I used to love I going out to work, man, and meeting some random guy that does fucking medicine in Trinity, but he's gonna drop out because his dad owns a firm. Now he's my friend. Like I used to be that guy. Now I'm just kind of like I need to kind of work on that. But one thing I wanted to bring up was like we didn't get the chance to talk on this. What did you think of the 90s babies pulling down their episodes for Dr. Pastor Toby and who was it? DJ Academics. As another podcaster, how did you view that?
It's weird. On one level, yeah, I should be able to speak to people that I disagree with.
Yeah.
Because not everybody I have on a podcast I'm here to agree with. Do you get what I'm saying? So even if I don't agree with your message, I should be able to chat to you. Do you get what I'm saying? Then listen to them on a live saying that. Okay, actually, even before that, how much research do you might think we do on guests?
This is the thing. We get DMs say, "Can I come on the pod?" Sometimes we get DMs that says, "Where can I come on the pod?" I said, "We have a slot in 2 weeks." That person's here in 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I do understand
Sometimes.
that. Yeah, it's like you have a platform, you have a this, but do you know what I'm saying? Like the thing is, I don't get a guest and start searching Twitter, black women, this, that, and trying to figure out everything you've ever said. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
or watch every single piece of content that you ever release. When you're here in 2 weeks, I have to work, I have a house, I have to meet. Like, I'm not gonna watch every single interview you've ever done in the next 2 weeks before you come on.
Like, sometimes the research I do is I will try and listen as much of your music as I can, or I'll try and maybe watch an interview or do this or do that. Do you know what I'm saying? But I can't do everything. Do you know what I'm saying? So, if there's some shit that I didn't see and I didn't know, like what's called act talking about.
The 17-year-old.
If she has a college ID, she's good to go.
Yeah, I didn't know about that.
I didn't know about that.
Wow, boy.
And the thing is, I can't run with that. The thing is, if I have that information now, what I do with that information is different.
Yeah.
And like, as much as we want, as much as we possibly can, we would like to not have anybody that is an abuser or anybody that's fucked up on our show or anything. Do you get what I'm saying? But the thing is, we're just not always aware. Do you get what I mean? Now, with the Pastor Toby thing, apparently there's some SA allegations and shit like that coming up in the background. For that, I think I would pull the episode down.
Yeah.
Like,
if if people don't agree with his messaging, they just don't agree. I think you can be able to stand in the smoke because we should be able to disagree with people and like. But in the same breath, if you get a controversial person, you have to be ready to stand in that smoke. Like, ZZ Mills is so good at it. ZZ Mills got Noel Clark on. Remember the guy that they killed? Apparently, he had loads of SA allegations. She still got him on the pod. And she's a woman, a black woman of that. So it was going to come with smoke. And she stood in the rain. Some people can do it. And she, again, it comes with, like, she knew beforehand, though. Do you know what I mean? Like, she knew beforehand, he's on some fuck shit. I'm going to get smoke for this. And she's embraced. But with the Pastor Toby, my thing is, if you're genuinely sorry for releasing this piece of content, you don't have to be stubborn. It's not that deep. Like, you can just pull it down. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to stand. You don't have to double down on some things. Like, I'm all here for doubling down. If it was just his messaging and him I didn't even watch the interview because people were saying they weren't questioning him. They were just saying, They said it was the way they weren't pressing him. It was a shit interview. Fair enough. I didn't get the chance to see it. It was pulled down by then. But as a podcaster, I'm with you. I'm like, if you don't disagree with his messaging, as long as it's not maybe derogatory or hateful messaging, as long as it's not hateful towards a group of people, like when Kanye was doing that rant that he was doing, I understand. But if it's just as like, if it's like my messaging was this and I don't agree with it, like 10-point plan, I don't agree with it.
But my question to some people is like, once again, I don't know what you people see us as.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, if somebody that is out here frauding people and all that kind of shit, do you think that they would come and put themselves in the place that they'd be exposed? Do you think I've gone home to go do hours and hours like a documentary and I'm coming up with receipts? I don't have any of that. I have a life. I have shit to do. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, what do you expect me to come and smoke him about? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to come and I'm going to address what I know, which is, yo, I heard you were doing this. He's not going to say, oh, yeah, I was. He's going to say, oh, no, where'd you get that from? Do you have backup? Do you have this? Do you have this? And when I don't, do you want me to just be shouting for the sake of shouting?
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, even let's look at Dongo. Who did he? It was a Congo boy that he said that he had on, and that he cringes when he watches that episode.
Yeah.
Like, I have to live with myself after this. Do you get what I'm saying? And I understand that you want me to do what you want me to do because you support me and everything, but at the end of the day, I can't do every. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's weird. Like, I don't want to sit on the fence, but I hear both sides.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying?
And
Like,
sometimes I say, sometimes, like, that's why podcasts are good. Sometimes it is nuance. You don't have to, like, sometimes the enter makes you feel like you have to take a stance. And we've had this conversation, it's like, if you don't share something, that means you're not taking that stance. And sometimes the internet can make you feel like you got to take a stance right here and right now so you know where you stand. But sometimes it is more nuanced. And as podcasters, we can't see the other sides because we've had guests on, and if people might tell us, like, yo, you know, this guest, this was going on. And you might be like, how the hell was like, especially in Ireland, we can't really research what someone has or hasn't done. But we have had guests that DM the page and we'd be like, no, we've heard weird things about that person. Or that person's a bit of a weirdo.
Your message didn't even leave the request.
Yeah, you know, so we said, we're not going to do it because we knew beforehand that we can't have this person on because we've heard this and the other.
We've not released episodes.
Yes, because of certain things, we said we just can't put that episode out.
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's kind of like at the end of the day, I'm telling you from now, don't expect me to be Mr. Social justice warrior.
We just talk about dicks on the mic,
bro. We talk about dicks on the mic, and if there's someone I want to speak to, and if I don't know about the mad shit, like if I'm not gonna get someone here that is talking about beating 16-year-olds and this and that. If I actually know that that's what that person is on, I don't even want to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, because that messaging I don't care for.
It's not even I don't care for, bro. Yeah. Please stay the fuck away from me. But if I don't know about it, when I get told about it, now you can go off my actions. You get what I'm saying? But like for somebody that, bro, I'll get someone that does F. He might have ruined someone's life. He might have. If
Hush Puppy was free, would you get one?
100%.
Go on. To be fair, he's already faces his consequences, isn't it? He's free to talk.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like there's people that I disagree with that I do want to chat to. Do you get what I'm saying? Like I want to chat to every like a bunch of different kinds of people. There's some certain shit that I don't fuck with, and you will never, ever.
Like if someone used to be in the KKK, I'll chat to him. It's like, how did that happen?
One of those motherfuckers saying kill black people and sit down here, I'll chat to you.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we can have a conversation about that.
Where did that hatred brew from?
Yeah.
Like, why are you so hateful? Because I remember for Sean Strickland, he talked about it on the Joe Rogan. It actually made me empathize with that person. Because I'm watching, I'm chatting to him, I was like, there's no way you weren't going to turn out the way you turned out. How's your grandfather in the KKK? Your father is a white supremacist. What did they think was going to happen to the kids? It's like, what do you think? But it's only true listening to him talk. It's actually understanding at the core. He was always like, look at the environment that raised him. What else was supposed to happen to this kid?
That's all that was ever going to happen.
Do you know what I mean? So, and finally, I think this is the other thing I want to talk about. I think I'm a Celeb is over now. On the timeline, Nella Rose went to represent.
Shout out Nella, man.
I was watching the first 2 weeks and then my life like turned upside down, and I was out of hospital for ages. So there was a moment where I can't remember his name. It says I'm old enough to be your dad.
Yeah, wasn't it Fred?
Fred or Frank? Yeah. I was actually gonna say Frank. I think it starts with an F.
You look, them man that are on those shows, I don't know who they are. Like,
I only know Sam Thompson because of Love Island, and he hosts India. That's the only one I know.
Yeah, and Nella because she's Nella.
And shout out Dami, man. Dami, your kid was in trouble here. But fuck to that.
We love black love.
We do love black love, and black women being loved out loud. Love to see it. And so then Fred is cooking, and again, it's a tense environment. People are hungry. Nella's trying to talk to Fred, and she's like, how can you not see something? And Fred's like, I'm 51. I'm old enough to be your dad. This is an expression we've heard multiple times, but because Nella Rose has lost her father, maybe hearing the word dad triggers her differently. And like, we've had this conversation of like through text, and like, the environment does play a factor. You're hungry, you're tired, you're not sleeping in proper beds.
You're around a bunch of people you don't know, you don't trust.
You don't really want to talk to. There's cameras around. So your anxiety levels and your emotions are heightened, you know? So you probably feel it, and you the way initially, I don't want to police how people feel. Trauma is different for everybody. If the word dad and your dad's not happens in your life anymore, and that triggers you different, I hear it, and I completely agree with it. Where I disagreed was with her behavior, and again, I didn't want to say like this on the timeline. To your point, is like sometimes you don't want to correct each other on the timeline because you know white people are gonna be like, oh, even the niggers are agreeing. You know that one.
Now all of a sudden I'm a coon.
Because I disagree with somebody, even though I can disagree with anybody. What I disagree is when Fred showed sincerity in apology, and he, to me, anyways, he looked like he's like, you know what? I said an expression that said multiple times throughout life. It's like, I'm old enough to be your dad. And people even found a clip of tweets of her saying that about Tim Westwood, of Nella Rose saying about Tim Westwood is old enough to be someone's dad. Where I found she was wrong is her reaction to him being sincere in his apology. She didn't have to take his apology. You don't have to accept anybody's apology. But then watching it kind of made me like, the expression, it's a figure of speech. He acknowledges, you know what, maybe I was out of line, and he's apologizing. So that's why I kind of didn't disagree with it. That's why with her behavior was kind of like taken back a bit. But the reaction on the timeline, unjustified.
Yeah, but you know, like
Unjustified.
we know, bro.
Unjustified.
They don't fuck like what's called just because we're around some people that are cool or genuinely. Sometimes we're just in spaces where being racist to me will make you lose your job. So
Yeah.
you can't. You have to be cool with me.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like we've worked with white people we don't like.
Yeah.
We've worked with people we don't like. Like it's. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like.
Mark Maloney.
But yeah, so do you get what I'm saying? So it's one of those situations where, like, you man, you're just looking for like they weren't even looking for a reason. They were gonna tweet all that shit about her.
Yeah.
Anyways. Do you get what I'm saying? And like the thing with it as well is like, do you have that person where you're like, am I going mad? Like that you text them is like,
Yeah,
let me know if I'm going mad.
Yeah.
Or, do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro, like she's in a place where she has no safe space. She's halfway across the country in a fucking jungle.
Across the world.
Across the world in a fucking jungle with a bunch of people that she doesn't really know, like eating bland food.
It's mad because you can disagree with Nella, but then all of a sudden you have to back her because the reaction is outrageous. You guys are going too far. Okay, you didn't like her behavior there, accepting the apology. Fair enough. Like I didn't like it, but why are you guys saying all this now? Like now I'm backing her, even though I don't really like. It's so silly.
And the thing is, like once again, you can't tell. Like I've never lost a parent. I can't tell you how it feels.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like. I have people that both their parents are alive that if you even just mention their parents, it's peak for you. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, let alone someone that has been championing, like, yo, me and my dad are like this, me and my dad are like this. Don't even say dad around me.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Especially where I bet you in a different situation, she has a safe space to go back to. She has a friends to chat to. Like they're like, yo, Nella, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he didn't mean like that.
Exactly. Like, and that was in my timeline with like Mimi the blogger, Taser. That was like the general consensus. Like a lot of black people were kind of like, he didn't mean it like that. But at the same breath, we kind of had to be like, get off her, man. Like, it's okay, man. Yeah, she's not a human reaction. It's a human emotion. People do that. You guys used it as an excuse, man.
Yeah, you guys just use it as an excuse to be your racist fucking selves.
Yeah.
Even like I didn't really watch, like I've watched an episode or two here and there, but like her getting voted for to do
every challenge.
They were just trying to break her, man. They were just trying to get her out of there. So on top of that, you guys like clearly the audience doesn't want to fuck with me.
Yeah.
Like you guys are trying to make me do every challenge so I can get the fuck out of here. Like, bro, it's a lot of pressure. Like, and I'm here with people that are like, granted, I'm not putting this on her.
Yeah.
But I'm here with people that are seen as quote unquote massive celebs. They're on TV. They're this. They're
fucking
that.
Nigel Farage is there.
Nigel fucking Farage is there. And I'm here.
First scene was his bump.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Of the show.
Now I'm here as a quote unquote just a YouTuber. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
and you're having political debates with Nigel Farage.
Do you get what I mean? It's just like, bruv, man. It's just. I feel like sometimes because we're so caught up in our little bubble, we forget how much the world hates us.
Yeah.
And it's times like this that reminds us, like, yo, the world really does.
And that with the riot happening at the same time, you're kind of like, yeah, this place, it's not a place for us. So yeah, I think that was one of the points with Nella. Shout out to her. I think Madam Joy said black women shouldn't go on these type of shows.
She was getting her own as well.
Initially I was like, Madam Joyce, like let them have this platform. We're part of the community. Let's integrate. After watching that, I was like, let Madam Joyce land.
No, she's right.
Yeah, let Madam Joyce land.
She's-
You're not gonna get the love you think you're gonna get in those spaces.
The thing is, everything that we love Nella for is what they hate her for.
Yeah.
For being herself,
being herself,
being a
allowed the
character,
personality,
being a personality.
Yeah.
They hate her for every single one of those things. You get what I'm saying? Because when it's, I can't think of a white woman right now, but when it's one of those, oh my god, she's so fiery, she's so
flamboyant,
confident, she's so this, and like, oh, I just love your confidence. But when it's a black woman now, all of a sudden, oh, she's loud, she's aggressive, she doesn't know how to do this, she doesn't know how to do this, she's not composed, she's not this, she's not this, and it's like, bro, man, if I'm a big dude, all of a sudden I'm aggressive just because I'm a big dude. Fuck off, man. Like I'm tired of every time we have to defend.
Watch your
ourselves.
tone, how you say things.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta
I can't even disagree with. I can't even like not be on. I can't be on another side. Like even watching like Dami and Martin and all. I have to. Even if I'm not agreeing with their behavior, like when Dami's going up for Summer and Martin is trying to break up, I'm like, some of the things I'm not agreeing with. But I just can't let you man know I don't agree with it because now, like, you guys are already piling on. It's like, the definition of like correcting your friends or your kids in private rather than in public because now you have to show that unity. And the last thing, one more thing I want to touch on, then we can finish off here.
Well, this and wrap what we're doing next year, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yes. A lot of people, mainly men, are waiting for their success to come before settling down and starting a family. Meanwhile, their success story is waiting for them in that marriage that they're putting off. What do you think of that? Because the follow-up,
You know what? Recently, for some reason, I've been getting pressure about marriage, bro. How are Jordan's in-laws asking Jordan about when I'm getting married? Make it make sense.
Let them
My mom is good, DG. So you just want to be single forever? Mom, cool down. Bro, niggas have been on my case recently.
But do you see that like some people it's within that marriage because the follow-up tweet then is shout out Auntie. So it was a testimony from the dad from the Cabs family that got me thinking about it. He got married and has kids young, which led to his life he's living now. Before he was struggling and ready to give up on everything. His kids are literally his success story.
How I will say, I think it's Charlamagne that said it. Like, if you want to make money, have kids.
That's different drive, yeah?
It's a different drive.
Yeah, Kamara Usman said the same thing. He said when he had his daughter, they have fire under his ass.
Okay, let's address the situation.
Yeah.
Yes, there is pressure, right? But a lot of the pressure comes from just the gender norms of, yo, we're supposed to provide.
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm not in a situation where I don't have the deposit for a house, bruv.
Where are we gonna live?
Yeah, okay. Do you know the pressure of I want to propose to this girl, but I can't afford an engagement ring. Do you get what I'm saying? Also, before we even get to the hurdle of
an engagement ring that she's proud of, like
Yes.
I can afford an engagement ring.
Wait, 'cause-
but something I'm proud of to afford. Yeah, never mind.
The thing is, I want what you want.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, this engagement ring's for you. I want you to be able to show it off, do all of that kind of shit, and you're telling me that engagement ring should cost $10.
Tell her, cool down,
babes.
cool down.
Imagine what's the average salary is what 40K?
38 or something.
Let's just say 40K.
Yeah.
I should save a quarter of my salary before tax to drop on a ring, and
still live life.
Forget about still live life. Then on top of that, we then need to do a wedding. Average wedding costs what? 20K. Okay, and after this wedding, we're not living in my parents' house. You don't want to rent. We want us to go buy a house. Where's that deposit coming from, babes?
Yeah. I think the logistics, the ideology is nice. I do understand the ideology. I want to have a conversation with the person on the timeline, but it's just way too complex to just have in 100. I understand that like kids are blessings, and your life it could light a fire under your ass, and you could propel yourself into that next level. But in the same breath, I've met people that have done this before it's their time, and have ended up resenting the fact that they had kids.
Facts.
They ended up resenting their partner. They ended up resenting they didn't get to live the life that they had to live because they had to sacrifice so much. And now you resent these kids even though they didn't have to be here. Like, I'm glad I'm doing it at a stage where I was 30 and I could appreciate it, and I could appreciate the emotional understanding to even appreciate the journey of pregnancy without the stress of, like, obviously I was stressed about my contractual situation, but I was still in a good job up until March, at the latest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So the ideology is, I do understand what Auntie's saying there, and I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like, within the marriage and within your kids can come blessings, 100%. Definitely. But also, there is a flip side, because everybody always finds the one example that it worked for, like the Cabs family. That's the example it worked for, and I understand. But the flip side is, I've also known people that said, don't have kids yet, their freedom goes away, you don't get to live the life you live, I never got to travel, I never got to do this. It sounds a bit regretful, and they don't mean to regret that they've had kids. They just, the human in them is like, I wish I did a bit more before sacrificing my life.
Look, even fuck all that. Let me just talk about myself. Like, bro, like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I want to be able to. I don't want a situation where me and my wife are saying, "Oh, this is the wedding I've always wanted, but obviously we can't afford that, so let's just do this." I don't want that. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I want us to get married. I want you to have the wedding that you've always wanted, because I don't care about our wedding personally, but I want you to have the wedding you've always wanted. Do you get what I'm saying? I want us to move into our house after the wedding. I want us to be able to do all of those things.
Is that an element of you over planning again and overthinking it?
Yes,
I hear you, because I was the same. I said, I told Timmy I'm not proposing until we have no, not that I'm proposing. We're not doing a wedding until I have mortgage money. Yeah, and I didn't until we had mortgage money.
But the thing is also, on top of that though, it's like, when are we gonna give give leeway for the fact of like, yo, these are the pressures that have been instilled in us. Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? Like, as a man, like, I say jokey, but you almost are told, if your wallet ain't there, you're not really that guy. Do you get what I'm saying?
Whatever height you are, in this life, have bar.
Do you get what I'm saying? What's called? When people are short, I say, bro, I'm 6 foot if I stand on my wallet. I'm 9 foot if I stand on my wallet.
They said the M of my hairline stands for millions.
Do you get what I'm saying?
So like, it doesn't matter.
What's called? Every time you're listening out your shit, I want a man that's successful. Bro, I'm not successful yet. Yeah. Do you get what I'm saying? I want this. I'm like, it's that internalization of like, yo, like, I'm supposed to be in a place financially where I can provide for you. I'm supposed to be in a place financially where, yo, if you want something, I want to be able to do that. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I do feel like there's a lot of lover boys out there that may not have the peace to do what they want to do. And I feel like, as men, a lot of us have this thing where if we can't do the grandioso thing, you want to do the small thing, which is wrong on our part. Yeah. But it's still like, it doesn't just come from nowhere. There's a reason why most men are saying, yo, like, I'm not financially ready to get married, because when I think about marriage, I don't actually think about the whole. When I think about weddings and marriage and shit like that, I don't think about the whole beautiful, oh my God, the day. Like, women think about the lovely day, my dress is gonna look like this, my this is gonna look like. I'm just thinking about the bill that's coming with it, bro.
My friend's going through it now. Say he's fighting vendors in Niger. One vendor told him, says, don't pay deposit now because the cost of inflation in the country, so by March the price might be up by 20K. I'm like, nah, this guy is telling you already how to an extra 20K ready, because you're going to pay that 20K. He sent me the screenshot. He's like, what do I even answer to this? I'm like, he's letting you know he's going to increase the price.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, look, for me anyways, if I've got babes, I want to make you happy. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't want you to feel like, oh, I settled for this wedding when I wanted this wedding. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's like, I want to give you what you want. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, on our wedding day, you want the wedding that you imagine. I want my wife to be happy with the wedding that she imagined. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. And I feel like, granted, once again, it might be wrong, but it's what has been internalized. It's what's been told from me from young. Yo,
that love is not what will provide, and which leads me to the thing I saw on TikTok, and it said, do you think then man can let go of the person they truly love and then marry the person that they still love, but they were more financially ready to marry?
I feel like that honestly, I've seen this with men too many times. When a man decides that they're ready to settle down, most times it's the first person that comes. Whether they're wrong or right, it's usually the first person that comes.
The first person that comes and like can give them what they want, like an element of what they want within a relationship. Yeah, even if it's not like
sometimes not even that. Yeah, sometimes it's just I'm ready. Like how many men do you know have, like, I'm talking about niggas that are whores, like that have really been in the streets, that when they're like, oh, I really want to settle down. Yeah, that's true. Now they're talking to you about this girl, and you're like, I don't even know if you like this girl like that.
She doesn't suit your spec though. This one's in your spec. Why are you settling down?
Yeah. It's like let's not even talk about physically. Just even like, this isn't her.
We've had this conversation like, yo, bro, this is what you like in life. This is what you're on. Why are you gonna spend the rest of your life with the girl that doesn't suit the life you live? Like, this doesn't suit your spec.
They lost the one that they wanted, and now it's just like, bro, I'm ready to settle down. So who's gonna settle down with me?
Do you think that, like, to that point, to Auntie's point, do you think sometimes we just have to make that leap then and be like, do you know what? I actually love this person. Let me make this leap. We'll figure out the rest later.
Yes, but
I think sometimes it's like, I've seen men get shamed a lot. And which I understand the fear then. It's like, they'll be like, you know what, let me take that leap. It's like, you're broke anyways. The things that they hear then in arguments makes them like, fuck.
Yeah, like, genuinely, if you're seeing your girl like all these different kind of rings and she's dropping all these hints, and you come with like, let's say She wants like what Princess Cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, pop in. What's
All
good,
right,
G?
Mick.
You hope podcast
Yeah,
here,
bro.
boys.
Come on,
Look,
come
man,
on,
shout
come on.
Yo, boys, I'll be back. Yeah,
Thank-
don't
thanks,
worry.
bro.
Don't worry, we're
Cheers,
nearly
man,
finished
appreciate
anyways. Yeah.
Congratulations, though. Yeah.
Thank you,
man,
Mick.
bro.
Appreciate
you,
it.
What the fuck was I?
We said something might get thrown back into an American
yeah.
events.
So what is called, bro? She wants Princess Cut. You're seeing what she wants. You two, you're saying, yeah, I'm gonna get that for my babes. You go and look at how much it costs. Let's say it costs 7, but you only really have 2.
2.5, 3 rings are good though.
I'm not saying it's not good.
Yeah, but you just want to please them.
But you want that, and like because of the city boy, city girl lifestyle, and also this is the thing: girls are gonna be like, yeah, but that's not a good girl though. This not that, and that's not that. I think sometimes I'm not saying that there's no good one out there. There's a lot of them, but I feel like you underestimate how wicked the other ones can be. That they'll get that, you get that on down on that knee, and you whip out that ring, and they look at it and like,
Yeah. No, I see both sides, and I guess it's like the example of where it worked out that's shared, but there's also example of resentment and it being hateful towards the life you live now because you never got the life you wanted to live in the first place. But back to what we're doing next year. So we talked about on the personal level. I think on the personal level, I want to be just a bit more extroverted, and I have to
yeah,
go
you gotta be
more.
outside. You gotta be outside this year. I can't be outside by myself, brother.
Yeah, I've got to definitely push myself to do all of that. Especially there's people that I have to, like Newbury. I owe them my money. I have to go see an event. Those are good people and they're good boys. So I have to go see something. But
This year was about consistency and upping the levels. Next year is about upping the levels and. Are we telling them about the? Yeah, next year is about upping the levels and you know what, monetization.
Yeah, monetization and
Next year is about making money, bro.
Yeah, we want to get to a level even that the podcast is paying for itself. Never mind like us making money. Just like the studio, the cameras, all of that element of it is actually just it's handling itself, and we just have to come and record kind of thing.
And honestly, you know what it is, yeah, just building the team bigger, and also like as much as we have appreciated everything that has come with the pod and where the pod is and everything we've done with the pod, there's so much more we want to do.
Yeah.
Like there's levels we need to take it to. There's levels we want to take it to. And to take it to those levels, unfortunately, a lot of the times it's peas.
Peas.
Do you get what I'm saying?
And there's only 2 of us. We both have lives. Both have car payments.
One of us has a job. One of us has a kid.
Do you know that ones? So there's a lot going on, but we will I think that's next year. Like this year we said consistency, do live shows, do an event. And again, we've participated in other events that weren't even our own. We could have been on stage with on If I Speak, but someone didn't pull out. So we could have done that, and that's another thing. Continue to network, continue to grow our platforms as well as be on other established platforms and keep sharing the platforms. Like have recurring guests. I know there's already guests that we have in our heads lined up, people that are gonna come back, new guests, and I did, like I said, with the Black and Irish Awards, I liked how I saw like Young Bless there, Fortune, Celine. I like seeing these Sharon Ade. I like seeing these new faces because sometimes it feels like since we're going now since fucking Rights Venue days, we've been seeing the same faces till like 10 years later. So then to be in buildings with like new bright talent, and then I want to carve those talent also here. And I like that people notice the intentionality of having the Santanas and the Young Blesses and the Fortunes, and because I was like, yeah, that is something we also need to share a platform with them. They might not have the confidence to ask us, so it's up to us to even approach them to come on the pod.
Side note, shout out to Shaq, bruv.
Yeah, Shaq can rap.
Bro.
Shaq can rap.
Boy was rapping
It's
his ass
Shaq
off.
can rap.
Like,
Real recognize real. Just go stream
like,
it.
This is the thing, yeah, genuinely, like, I'm be honest, like, there's room for improvement. I don't know where that improvement is coming
Yeah.
from, but he's going to be one of those, like, you know, them man, those real rap man, like, you know the way people love Nines or Park Paper? He reminds me of that.
That's a good point. People love those vibes because they're pure rappers.
But once, like, it took them a while to get it, but once they clicked it,
Yeah,
it's gone.
No, that's gonna be Shaq.
Yeah, no, that's definitely.
And
gonna be Shaq.
he has the look of it. He's tall. He's handsome.
And you know what?
the
He
hair,
has,
yeah.
he has what I can always say for me, tone is a massive thing. And like the
Believability.
first time I listened to it, it was in the background, so it was just very background music and shit like that. But then I listened to it a second time, and I'm listening to what my man is saying. And like, you know what, even like, first of all, the confidence, bro. Like I could hear the hunger. Do you get what I'm saying? I can hear some of the shit that he's talking, and it's like, even the song, what's called Thoughts on the M3, and it's just like, once again, I've driven that road.
2 a.m. in the 9.
Bro,
Do you know that's about Bergen?
I know. I've driven that road. I've been there. I know what's happening in these places. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even his tone changes on some of the songs where I'm like,
Or what's
who's
his
this?
IWIS or something. Just different flow
There was a
to
couple
it.
times I
Yeah.
was like, "Who's this?" And I was like, "It's him on the song alone.
Yeah,
it doesn't
no.
even sound like him again." Do you get what I'm saying? But anyways, back to this year, yeah. Like what we try to do with the podcast is building blocks. Do you get what I'm saying? Like not everything is gonna get better in a day. Like I was looking at old clips from January, bro, and I was looking at it and I'm like, this looks disgusting. There's shit in the background. It doesn't look nice. This is and it's like we built on that and it got better and it got better. Now it's like, okay, what do we now that we've gotten the podcast is, bro, at this point the podcast is light work.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like 52 episodes next year, calm, easy. You won't sweat about that. So it's like, okay, what we adding next year? We're adding quizzes, we're adding shows, we're adding
Tragic
games
quiz,
night.
the most controversial quiz there is. Just do better, guys.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at Slight Motif, we're top. So
Okay.
we can quiz. It's you man that the problem.
You man
that the problem.
You man that always talking about we have favorites. I don't give a fuck who wins the quiz.
They say if you wanted to just give out merch, you should have just said,
I
y'all niggas would have never got Anna Wintour. Yeah, I would have got it.
I don't give a flying fuck who's on top of the leaderboard. So there are no favorites. Get that out of your head. You know
What
I'm
the
saying?
everybody just cooking us for that one. I was like, what?
However, I will say we will structure it a bit better.
Yeah.
Because this is
I
the
gave
thing.
away the Stranger Things, but I said no, that's your lifeline. After I gave it up, I said that's your lifeline. I'm not giving you the
Don't
other
worry.
answers.
Next year we're gonna do that. But what's called next year is about, okay, first of all, we're migrating onto our own YouTube page, so it's gonna be just us. On our YouTube page, we're gonna start having all this extra content. We're gonna be doing our quizzes, we're gonna be doing our reactions. We're gonna, like, the thing is, honestly, let's be transparent with you guys. We have quizzes in the top, ready, edited, but they're ass. They don't look right. So you're not getting them. So it's about next year we're gonna make this thing pop proper. Do you get what I'm saying? We're gonna add on more, we're gonna do more. And also, like we said, we got our team, we got the Charger family. My brother, first of all, his paint and sip look cold.
Yeah, look class.
Fam. And once again, you man that are looking for babes, that there's always talking Irish girls and Irish boys and this.
There's nobody's in Ireland.
My guy is telling me that his event is damn near all women.
Yeah, Sip and Paint is definitely a girl.
Bruv, you man aren't doing the right thing.
Yeah.
You're in the streets and you want to be go to where the girls are, bruv. Like, that's where the fun is, yeah?
We're nearly done, bro. Yeah, we're done.
Look at this man trying to time us. Yeah, go to where the girl are though. And look, next year just expect greatness from us. That's actually what it is.
Yeah.
Expect more from us and we're gonna deliver on that shit.
And just remember, podcast of the year 2023.
You know?
And if you didn't like anything we said on this podcast today,
Just come in. What's
yeah,
all of this?
I don't know what's happening.
Man
yeah.
is doing hand modeling. Just come in the door,
Oh,
bro.
damn.
What's good, G?
Listen, I'm booking, boy.
What's good?
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank
Cheers,
you
bro.
very
Appreciate
much.
you, man.
If you didn't like anything we said on this podcast today, well, you can charge. Thank you for
Bang,
listening.
Bang, bang.